this guy sent me this stuff.
I sent you that thing that, who was it, they didn't like the Denver Travelers.
Yeah, well, who cares? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. God, what's wrong with people? Did you hear? It was barely any kind of accident. You know when it's down, she wants $1 million or something. I don't know, man. Whatever. I'll send it over to them, though. But yes, I did get it.
I don't know if you want me to even send that to them or...
Yeah, no. Fire it off to them, absolutely. Do you have their email? If not, I'll fire it off.
Go ahead, fire it off. I don't have it.
We have,
and I didn't call her. Normally, I would have, like say, gave her a call and say, what exactly did they do? Is she going somewhere else? Or
God, where's this water heater he was going to do for $9.99?
what a deal. Electric or gas?
I'm sure
it's got to be electric for that little bit.
Yeah.
I ain't kidding. Putting in a
Here it is.
electric water heater is the easiest.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, here we go. 40-gallon gas water heater, $9.95.
Gas. Wow.
That is cheap. That is really cheap.
Wow.
That is a good deal, isn't it?
Oh, it's spectacular.
Can you say spectacular?
I did. No, it really is, because the water heater is probably right there at that price. The newer one.
You know the 90% not efficiency furnaces that just use that little plastic chimney? They make water heaters that way too, but they're really expensive and they're really. I'm trying to think of what the word is. They only last about 5 years. They're really troublesome.
Oh, really?
High efficiency ones.
Really?
They have a whole bunch of extra stuff on them. They have the combustion blowers and all that.
Oh, they have to, because it's so cool. They gotta put a fan in there to blow it out.
Yeah, they research the heat.
And they can go off the side. They don't have to go up, right?
Yeah.
Doc, that guy,
My son-in-law down the house.
Tom talks about that chiropractor in Parker that he said,
Dean
Johnson.
He's the guy that got kicked out of North Dakota. North Dakota Attorney General fined him.
Oh, yeah.
is it the same guy?
No, I thought it was Ryan Helms was that guy.
Who are you talking about? Dr.
Dean
Jones?
Dean
Jones.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
No, this guy says he gets them out of
He gets the cord
juice.
Yeah.
You know, my wife actually went to him.
But he's doing the thing at Marshall.
Because he has a chiropractic office there too.
Dean Jones, do you want to go? Oh, okay.
I was there. Somehow it was tied to the chiropractic.
He's got to get you dinner. And
they started talking to them. She come home and started trying to tell me about how they use cord stuff, and it's
he's got 3 different
fresh and new, not like for
Yeah.
Does it have live stem cells in it?
What?
The cord juice?
No, I mean, all of these products that we've tested, they're all dead or dying on the thaw. So, can you get some stem cells out of cord blood if you just go and take it from a delivery? You can. But once you...
But he's not doing that, I'm sure.
No. But once it's turned into a product, the answer is no. And in fact, it would be illegal for it to contain.
So I thought, right.
Do I remember the number correct? 400 million.
We're up to him.
Is it my imagination, or are these lights brighter?
God, they're barely on today.
Barely on.
That was our...
So I'm going to go to your first gut. It's your imagination.
What was that number? Is it 40 or 400?
400 million.
Just want to agree with you.
Yeah, 40 million.
400.
Well, 400 is 400. Okay. I thought I remembered that number. It seemed like such a...
I'm trying to find this Helms guy. I don't see much. Let's see.
And how does a cell counter work? I mean, I'm picturing these little cells getting on a bus and quickly.
That's for cytometry. We have 2 of those, but the 400 million number just refers to kilonuclear cell count. So that's easier. That's just a visual.
The Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do
Hi, Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. The longest running show in radio with the same host currently on the air. Welcome. Hey, what do you want to talk about today? Anything pissing you off? I'll tell you what's pissing me off. Watching TV has become intolerable. I cannot believe the political ads. Every single break, it's a pain in the ass. It has driven me to Netflix. Oh my God. And the way they make each other sound. Gerald Paulus is the spawn of Satan. When he is elected, he will bring his dark priests to the Capitol and do away with little babies and puppies. And then Walker Stapleton, they always have a lady. He's not right for us. He's a scum-sucking pig. In a really nice voice, they have a woman tell you how bad someone is. Walker Stapleton, not right for children, not right for schools. He will rape and pillage villages. I can't stand it. So I want to take a survey. First, you know the primary reason for this show. Problems, questions, and complaints. Really, it's the only place you can ever air them, anywhere. In fact, if you're listening from around the country, it's the only place. You can get help, too. 303-713-TALK. Or 24/7 is 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. I want to take a survey, and I swear to you, I want this survey to be accurate. I mean, to the extent it can be. I want to know one person who has changed their view, just one, and decided to vote a certain way because of an ad. One person. Do you know what I contend? There is no one. Politics is either passed on from father to son, mother to son, father to daughter, mother to daughter, friend to friend, neighbor to neighbor, party to party, members to members. I contend there is not one person, not one, who actually looked at a political ad and said, oh my God, they're right. Gerald Paulus, the son of Satan. Your vote for him is as a vote for hellfire. What I want to know if any of those ads have affected you in any single way. We also have a special guest today. It is not the son of darkness nor a politician of any kind. He is a doctor who does stem cell therapy, and he does fight the dark forces of chiropractors and amniotic fluid and umbilical cord, blood. He's tested these products. So, if you have any questions before wasting thousands and thousands of dollars, I have emails out the yin-yang, and someday I'm going to define what a yin-yang is, but that's where the emails are coming out of. I don't think you can treat the yin-yang with stem cells, but I have emails from people who have wasted thousands and thousands of dollars. All right, we'll get to Dr. Chris Centeno, because I'd like to know about, especially that one, maybe we can call that guy back in Castle Rock who disputed me. He said, now the amniotic fluid, you're right, Tom, but we use umbilical cord. What's his name? Ryan something? What's his name down there?
Was it Ryan Helm?
Ryan Helm. Dr. Ryan Helm in Castle Rock. Get him on the phone. Let him talk about his umbilical cord.
Bring him on.
You know what I love about Dr. Chris Centeno? Not only was he the first to do stem cell therapy, he's also a badass. He does not like phony. No. He goes on forums every day and fights the battle. I mean, he really is. He really is a crusader for the good part. And he is, maybe to a fault. People say, oh, my God, don't get me involved with him. Do you remember one time, Mark, we said we had this guy, Chris Centeno, we were talking to, and that one guy says, oh, no, we don't want to talk to him. Remember that? When we were having that controversy? And,
yes.
And they said, oh, no. And then I talked to another guy who was doing it the right way.
You mean as we were tossing them out?
I was talking to a clinic who wanted to advertise with me, who actually harvest stem cells, and they do it the right way. Chris Centeno will tell you he's not the only clinic in the world that does it the right way. Okay? But if they're a chiropractor, they're doing it the wrong way. I'll just tell you that straight up. But Dr. Chris Centeno, I told the guy he was meeting with me, and he wanted to get me to advertise, and I said, I'm already associating with a doctor, Dr. Chris Centeno. He said, oh, wow, forget it, he's great. It was so nice to hear that. Dolores, tell me about those ads. Did you ever once in your life take a position based on a political ad? Dolores?
Good morning.
Hey.
Never.
Never.
And I just wanted to call you and tell you if you're running for something, I'm voting for you because you're the most practical person I've heard in the last 3 months. I'm so sick of it, I could puke.
Oh, my God, I'm sick of it too, Dolores, and they think we're idiots.
I know.
I mean, I love, too, they take the most unflattering pictures and post them. And I'm not talking about just Democrats or Republicans. I hate them all. I don't hate the people. I hate the practices. Dolores, thank you. And they take the most unflattering pictures. But you know what has become the #1 indictment of a politician? He says we're in good hands with Trump. Oh, my God! That bastard supports the president! What a scumbag! How dare he? Oh, my God. And not one of them. I mean, they are all distancing themselves from Trump. If elected, he'll stand up to Trump. Either way, God. And then Trump goes out and says, protect your babies. The caravan is coming. Vote Democrat if you want to save your job. Oh, they're all full of crap. When will we ever know that? God, they're all full of crap. Betty, what's going on with you, Betty? Oh, no, Betty hung up as soon as I went to her. Oh, goodness gracious. Steve, what's happening? I hope I have Steve here. Yes, Steve, what's going on, sir?
Yeah, I had a 15-amp circuit run in my house, a new one.
You know, 15 amp is good for very light loads. What about it?
Correct. So the circuit this guy put in, I'm not having an issue with that. And he had to put a new breaker in the box.
Yeah.
But ever since he put that new circuit breaker in the one, the one above it keeps tripping.
Wait a minute. Wait, so the breaker, the one breaker below is tripping the one above.
The one, that's what I believe. I don't know if it's coincidental.
So it's coincidental that in proximity of the new breaker, one above it it keeps going off, right?
Correct.
Offline.
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that he crossed a wire. It's possible, yes. It's very easy. There's a whole rat's nest in there unless you have a Virgo anal retentive electrician. They don't make money, but they make beautiful panels, and they put everything. I do things so perfectly that I can't make money ever doing anything like that. So here's the deal. Seriously, it's most likely something very simple, but I'm going to give you a great idea, and I'm serious now. Sure. Let's hold them up to it. Fix It 24/7. They have a deal. $39 to find any problem in your home. Now, if it doesn't happen to be there and they have to search your whole home for 6 hours, you will never pay more than $39, ever. And here's the deal now. Here's the deal. Now, when they find it, they give you and they tell you what it is. You don't have to have them fix it if you don't want to. You might think, well, I'll do it when they leave. You only pay $39. If you want them to fix it, they will refund you the $39, and you won't pay that. I'm serious. How better can you do it? But most likely, something. It's not. I don't believe in coincidences, by the way. So this is Fix It 24/7 for anyone listening. $39, like that problem to find it. It is 720-526-3939. Okay, 720-526-3939. So Dr. Chris Centeno is with us. We will talk about anything you want on your mind. Nick said he actually changed his mind on a vote. Nick, if you could hold on, please. I want to talk to you about that. I really want to talk to you about that. Speaking of medical providing, I want to talk about Bright Light Chiropractic. I love chiropractic. I don't like chiropractic for everything, and I especially love Bright Light Chiropractic because guess what? They're not a chiropractor trying to push off fake stem cells. They actually do wonderful chiropractic adjustments. And they are proud of it, and they do it in a way that you can introduce your entire family to them because they are targeted, gentle adjustments of the nerve subluxations or misalignments which help your body heal itself. Bright Light Chiropractic, University and County Line. Whether you're new to chiropractic or you want to just find a great chiropractor, brightenyourfamily.com, 720-583-4506.
Did you read one at the start of the show? We wanted to be sure we didn't miss one. Okay.
And I should.
All right.
Because remember,
I made up for
last
it,
time
though,
he
with
said,
yeah.
Okay.
We'll give them a really good deal, both for $30.
Yeah, but that's just, it's not a tune-up. It's diagnostic.
Not a tune-up.
I can think of a number of reasons that breaker.
Not like the 90,000-mile tune-up.
Not like the kind of tune-up you guys talk about.
We've got a new thing.
I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever it is, it sounds distasteful to me.
Exactly, Dan.
That's Deputy Clinton.
They're the tune-up guys. I just listen.
Stop listening.
Mark came out with a new one. It's 90,000 miles.
It's preventative maintenance.
Visit SERO.com/join today.
Well, it's better than getting shot in the sheets.
I can't forget that.
Hey, what about this paperwork from Monty? What are we talking about? Did we see it?
You know, every time a breaker trips, you know, there's a spring in there that holds it. And when the spring gets hot, that's why it pops over the other way and trips. But every time it gets hot, it weakens the spring.
Well, it can move for another reason, though.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying every time a breaker trips,
It would have to get way.
Monty was the guy last
It
week,
might not be
pardon
fully
me, with the
inserted.
cracked
Well, I
tile
know.
roof,
I wasn't talking about
floral
that being his
roofing
problem.
and Fraley
I was just saying
roofing,
that every time
and
a
you
breaker
said to
trips,
send
it weakens
pictures.
I remember
It's
saying
paperwork.
some crack.
Yeah, they trip like a
Yeah, I forget. So anyway, you said send pictures and paperwork and get them back going. So
Where are the pictures?
pictures are in your email, and here's the paperwork. But it was a cracked tile. In fact, Jay Brunts can probably comment on it.
Showing me the same tile over and over, or are they all different?
They were 9 different pictures. I downloaded them and sent most of them. They all look the same to me.
I mean, they're not crazy.
But do you remember that call, Dan?
What's
with Monty?
acceptable?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, do you know most people break tile roof because they walk on it improperly. You're supposed to walk on the under one up to the seam. That's how you walk on it.
You won't even find me on a roof, Tom.
Almost like
Don't have to
a
worry
shake
about
out.
when I break their
Shakes
one,
are springy, they don't break as easy.
I used to run up and down my parents' house with golf shoes. And they would shake. Yeah. I don't remember just having fun as a kid.
Sure, clean me up, clean the house, yeah.
The golf shoes
Ryan Trudy's
Yeah,
pretty
just a
disgusted
stick
with
with
you.
pins like this.
If you can take that.
Why? Why?
2.75% APY on a 17.
With all that cussing you do on the air and Lord's name in vain stuff, but you won't let anybody say shit.
Yeah, what's your problem?
I've never said the Lord's name in vain, ever.
What are you talking about?
CD. Belco membership is required. Conditions
I've heard you call Dan names.
Federally insured by NCUA. Belco, thinking for everyone.
Yeah, but that's just.
now offers the ultimate in security and accessibility for your garage door. With
It's never
click-out
justified.
technology, you can receive an alert if your garage door has been left open.
So it looks like they, boy, most of the pictures, that's not a bad, look at you. If that was cracked and they fixed it, that's a great freaking fix, isn't it?
Which one?
This one right here?
Oh, yeah.
A little slate or concrete.
Yeah, there was. It looks like it was broke. I don't know what's acceptable. What, a couple of them?
You're right, you're exactly right. What is acceptable?
What are they made of?
It looks like a.
And of course, he doesn't take one from the damn ground, so we can get an idea of the whole roof. Now this isn't good, this big chunk. How about a granite roof? Think how heavy that
Well,
would
you
be.
know what, if they do it, who was the one that the compass was there, if they're gonna end up quick covering, roofs for hail? I don't want them. Everybody's gonna have to go to these kinds.
Yeah, but these look like they break. I mean, hail's gonna snap these up.
No, not the concrete. Snail won't snap shit on the
Walking
road.
well.
No, I've had a concrete roof that was never damaged by. I mean, every once in a while, one could get cracked with a giant hail at the right place.
The barrel one?
Huh?
The barrel?
Oh, barrels will never get.
But it just cracked. I'm sure you can.
Barrels are stronger, believe it or not, because the barrel is over.
Yeah.
It's the way they.
Our neighbor has them, but God, you got birds living in every one of them. The barrel tile.
Hey, BioT treatment available at thehormonebros.com, hormonebros.com, or the Hormone Bros, 470 and Ken Carroll, and they have hormone treatment, which is testosterone, estrogen. They also have thyroid treatment, and they do Juvederm, other fillers, Botox, and they do a natural needling that stimulates your own collagen, and that is Revitalized Health. You'll like these guys. 3 brothers who got together and started this clinic, Revitalized Health, and I call them the Hormone Bros for easy finding on the internet, thehormonebros.com. Dr. Chris Centeno does stem cell therapy. I wanted to ask you something. Has anyone ever used stem cell therapy for cosmetic reasons in the face ever? Have they experimented with it? I'm just curious.
Yeah, there are a number of physicians out there, cosmetic surgeons, and
who use stem cells.
Well, they use PRP a lot.
PRP, right?
That's platelet.
That's platelet-rich plasma. What does that do? If they take your blood, spin it down, and put in the platelet-rich blood, what does that do?
It's kind of like espresso shots for the local repair cells. It just
does it help?
Amps them up.
Okay. Does it fill your face at all? Do you know?
You know, they say they get good results. I've got no experience with it.
What about actual stem cells?
Yep. Fat stem cells are sometimes used for that purpose.
I'm wondering, have you ever used for TMJ? That's a curious question. Because TMJ is a joint problem.
Yeah, we treat a lot of TMJ.
You do, with stem cells?
Correct.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, now, where's the guy that he was going to tell me how he changed his mind and he hung up. I can't believe it. I wanted to ask what he changed his mind on. It's my contention that no one changes their minds based on political ads.
I might vote for Hillary next time around.
Okay. All
so
right.
There you go.
You did. Now listen, you know my fun diversity ramp. You know what diversity...
The ringtone.
Here's diversity. Listen carefully. This says something about diversity. Listen carefully, all right? Lest you think...
Diversity is great when you agree with me. Diversity is great when you agree with me. Diversity is great when you agree with me.
Yes, that's diversity, but you can't be diverse in another direction. But listen, I've heard all the hate speech, right? And I've come up with a conclusion about hate. You ready? This is my commentary on the election season. I hate you all. Listen.
The only hate allowed is our hate for Trump. The only hate allowed is our hate for Trump. The only hate allowed is our hate for Trump.
Yeah, because the most hateful speech I've heard were people talking about Trump. Now, Trump is an idiot the way he acts. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm not talking about... Mark, I'm not talking about politics, so you can stop worshiping at the altar of Donald Trump for a couple minutes here while I talk. I'm simply talking about his personality. If you tell me...
Name one example.
If you tell... Oh, give me a... If you think that this is a presidential personality, you're full of crap.
That's why he ran. He wasn't supposed to be presidential.
Oh, stop. You know what?
He's not a politician. He doesn't pretend to be a politician.
He could do exactly everything he's doing, everything, and still be just a little more...
Really? You think North Korea would be coming around if he didn't call him Rocket Man and everything else?
Oh, come on. All I'm saying is, you got to separate the politics. I'm not talking about politics here. He doesn't have to be such a jerk. And, you know, something bothers me about a man staying up 2 o'clock in the morning to tweet against a common citizen when he's the president of the United States. Come on, Mark. The guy's an idiot. Oh, you know what?
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
I love a lot of his policies.
Wow.
I love a lot of Obama's policies.
I bet you do.
Do you want to know why? Because I'm not blinded by party. That's why.
I voted for Obama twice.
I actually look at people and say, you know what? I like this about him. him. I don't like this about him. I like this about her. I don't like this about her. I like this about that. I don't like this about that. Huh? You
He's
know
a
what?
package,
I'm
though,
not
man. What do you
blind.
expect?
I'm
He's
not
a package.
blinded. I'm not blinded. Do you know that people put politics above their religion? They do. Totally. Not that I'm saying that's wrong, but they do. Politics trumps everything. Absolutely everything. There is nothing more important in a person's life than their political affiliation. Anyway, Heather, let's talk about your pole barn. What's going on?
Well, we have issues from the get-go, I think, starting with miscommunication.
Who did you have build a pole barn for you?
Pole Barns, LLC, out of Calhan.
Pole Barns, LLC. That took a lot of creativity there. So I like the business name. It tells you what they do. But I want to know the problem now. Is this Pole Barns, LLC a one-man show?
It is not. Unbeknownst to us, a salesman was part of it. Then he introduced us to the Pole Barns, LLC. Which
What's the
then
problem
had
with it all? What's the problem?
The construction, the quality of construction not meeting our inspection.
Is the barn done?
There's a roof on it. I would say it's done, but it's not.
No, I mean,
quality.
if I ask them, they say we finished it, right?
No, I still think they were trying to figure out the issues, to figure out our trim issues, the way the doors were hung incorrectly.
But I mean, what I mean is, other than going back and tweaking things, the structure's done.
Yes, the structure's done. There's a roof, there's siding, and it's all enclosed. Yes.
How much?
It would be done.
How much was the whole project supposed to be by contract?
$40,000.
And how much have you paid?
We've paid all but $5,500.
How big is it?
It's 40 by 50.
Wow, that's cheap.
Okay, so right now, what are you calling us about? What can we help you with?
Well, we feel like we've been ghosted.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
They don't talk to him anymore.
Oh, okay.
Get with it.
Yeah, that's the new term, I guess. I had contact with the owner. His name is Blake. Last Tuesday, finally, I was able to get his name and number, and he said, if you email me your issues and concerns, I will have a meeting with all involved, and we'll try to get this.
Why do you think they won't do that?
I have no idea.
No,
so,
well, have you had a meeting?
No, because no one will call us back.
Because you're being ghosted, right. Okay.
I'm being ghosted.
All right. So what we need to do is call them for you. What's the person's name at Pole Barn you've been dealing with?
Blake Chessy, I think is how you say his last name, Chaussee.
Chaussee?
Chaussee?
I would say Chaussee, but hey, listen, it sounds to me like if they wanted to rip you off, they wouldn't have gone this far. It sounds like, would you summarize these problems as major or minor?
Well, the fact that it hasn't passed inspection, to me, that's major.
But could you, I'm asking if those deficiencies could be corrected for the $5,500 owed.
Yes, we're happy to pay if they will correct it.
No, I'm asking, if you hired someone else, could they correct them for $5,500?
No, we've been told we're way over that, at least $10,000.
What's the biggest issue?
The way the roof is not long enough. That's one of the
Are you saying the whole thing has to be redone? The roof? Or just added?
That's what I've been told by
when you say it's not long enough, do you mean the eaves don't come off?
Yes, correct. It only has a 1-inch overhang, and it's supposed to have a 3-inch overhang.
What difference does 1 inch to 3 inch make? Put gutters on it. What difference does that make?
That's just the code.
They're actually saying that's code.
The inspector came out and said,
is it the steel that has to be 3 inches over?
Correct.
Well, that's just so they just have to put on a row of a bottom row of steel around the building, right? Just to lower it.
I'm not sure because the metal is continual from the peak all the way down.
It is, so it's rolled.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would be
major.
Major.
I don't know if it's rolled, but they're large pieces.
Well,
so,
okay, maybe not rolled, but it sounds okay. Are you sure they're one continuous piece from peak to eave?
Well, I know that they're long pieces because we moved.
All right, hold on. We're getting a really good picture of this, so we're going to call them for you right now. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. We're going to call them for you right now. Pam, go ahead. What's going on, Pam? Pam.
Tom?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Tom.
Yes.
I'm calling with a question. One question for you.
Yeah.
How do you believe you're screaming and hollering about politics, or what? What
Well,
does that
actually,
have
I've
to
never
do
mentioned
with
politics at all. I've mentioned people.
No, but you said you're not going to talk about politics. I'm
Right.
not, this isn't about politics. And you just keep screaming and hollering.
About what?
Politics.
I'm talking about the ads. I hate the ads, and I hate the claims people make, and I hate the false claims of diversity and the non-hate when they're the most hateful people. I don't like contradiction. That's all. So I'm yelling about it.
What does it have to do with consumer?
It has a lot to do with it
listen.
because we all sit down and watch this crap, and we get to a boiling point, Pam. Listen, first of all, I'm not letting you define me. No one tells me I have to come on here and do a certain amount of things, or you're not going to listen. Well, then don't listen. What I'm telling you is we recover hundreds of millions of dollars for people all year long, and if I have... If I saw a movie that sucked, or if I see something on TV that bothers me, I can talk about it because I think we're all consumers of that crap. I don't limit myself. I'm seriously, Pam.
Talking and talking. You haven't even listened to anything I've said. You've just followed through like what I said.
Tell me what. Tell me. Make a point.
My point is, we listen to you. This is your show, and you have an absolute right. And
we listen to. Go ahead. You continue.
We've listened. We've turned you off a couple times recently because
who is
my
we?
Coworker.
Okay.
Coworker.
I'm sorry. Okay.
And we turn you off a couple weeks recently, and we come back to you, but it's the same thing.
What's the same thing?
There's been like one consumer. It's 10:30. We've heard one lady so far. The rest is you screaming about politics, and you have a perfect right to believe whatever you want
Pam,
and talk about it.
I do not scream about politics every day.
No, I didn't say that.
I had too much of it today. Too much. Over the weekend, it was intolerable. That's what I said. So I'm commenting on it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't define my show. I'm just commenting on it. I can't stand it. I mean, first of all, people, in my opinion, if they listen to that crap and actually believe it and don't do their own research, they're nuts. Political ads are absolutely trash. They are. They all lie. Every single one of them. Do you know the one? Listen, I like George Brockler, and I don't think he did this ad, but there's an attack ad against a guy running against him saying he defended a criminal. He was a public defender. He had no choice. He had absolutely no choice. When a criminal is assigned to him,
that's funny.
He doesn't get to turn him down. He was absolutely, positively a public defender.
Do you think that sways anybody? No way.
Well, I don't know, because it has the convict's picture up there saying, not right for you. You know, he loves these people. I mean, okay, listen, and this is not an indictment of Brockler. I'm just saying the attack ads on both sides, they suck. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people agree with me. And all I'm doing is making an observation, all right? Fritz, what's going on with you? Fritz? Fritz?
Well, good morning.
What's happening?
Well, I own a dump truck business, and I did some work for an individual, and this was back in August. I'm just having trouble, getting him to write me a check.
What kind of work did you do?
Brought in dirt for a foundation of a garage.
And, okay, and was this an individual home or a contractor?
It's somebody's house.
Well, who were you working for?
Someone named Gary Ness.
Were you working for the individual who owns the house, or someone contracted to do work at the house?
Yeah, I believe he was contracted to do the foundation.
And you brought in dirt. Hold on, and we'll talk about your problem. And speaking of contractors, buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. If you're looking for counter materials, cabinets, lighting fixtures, plumbing fixtures, and like flooring of all kinds, like hardwoods, laminates, and engineered floors, you won't find it cheaper. It's below wholesale, 4800 Washington Street, buyandbuild.net. And it's the most unbelievable place to send your contractor. Pennies on the dollar compared to retail, compared to wholesale even. Send your contractor or go yourself, 4800 Washington Street.
This is Denver's Talk.
Oh, yeah, I think Trump has changed. You remember the Gary Hart thing?
Yeah.
A long time ago, how prior to Gary Hart, yeah, prior to Gary Hart, they just didn't talk about that stuff and didn't report on it, and it was a major change in their politics. I think Trump is another Gary Hart moment. I mean, he has changed the entire, and it just harmonizes it with social media. I mean, social media and the internet has allowed us to go this direction or that direction. And Trump is just doing what works in those places.
Is Sean Olsen doing any employment law at all anymore?
People don't realize I think he's quite a bit smarter than what people give him credit for. I think he can read. I think he can read the nation better than most people can when it comes to advertising, where to go, what to. Like right now, who was it this morning told him, quit talking about the caravan and talk about how great the economy is.
Yeah, people don't show up to vote because they like the economy. They will show up to vote
for the caravan.
For the caravan, yeah.
And especially the places he's going and stopping. So, but a lot of it's funny how people in his own party don't even realize how good he is at reading.
Plus, he's the only one who's ever stood up to media like this.
But going back to your point, a really cool part about this is a lot of people that never even considered a bid for the presidency. Look at Mark Cuban. I don't think he'd ever run, but a lot of these people that never would have even considered they could become the president now know they can become the president.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. I think Mark Cuban's got a nice, good head on his
money
shoulders.
he spent in his campaign compared to Hillary. It was a fraction.
Not even. Yeah.
Because he knew how to play it to get it talked about.
Today is the day you break the stranglehold
of they talk.
Boy, back during the campaign, man, when he gave you a nickname, holy shit. Lion Ted, Crooked Hillary. That guy could nickname better than anybody I ever met. He should have named George Tebow.
Rubio, what do you call Rubio? Little Rubio?
Little Marco.
Little Marco.
I mean, he was incredible. If he nicknamed you, it stuck.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Mark, on part of it, that being non-presidential is why you got elected.
I know it is. People are sick of the bullshit. And it's all of them. I don't care. Republicans, Democrats, they talk out of one side of their mouth and do something else. Every one of them. And when they give a campaign promise, forget about it. It means nothing. It's because that's what they think people want to hear at that very second.
Exactly.
That's a big problem now with Gerald Polis. He's promised, what, free everything?
Yeah, free everything is hard to pull off.
Yeah. That'd be nice. It really happened.
What's his name? The guy from
Bernie.
Bernie.
Free pizza and movies on Fridays, right after your free college.
Buy one college, get two free.
Shit, my kid's college is almost free through Walmart. $365 a year.
Bernie almost.
Really?
How much?
$300 a day. $365.
How much?
You got to either do a business degree or supply chain, which is they're both going to be around for a long time.
They supplement
every other part.
To that much. That's impressive.
I'm jealous of this healthcare now through Walmart. People used to bitch about Walmart. They're unbelievable with pennies.
I know. Well, yeah.
I mean, you got to be there a while. And
well, not only that, but people look at what they pay per hour, but they don't put the whole package together. And that's what.
And you throw in his college and you throw in his healthcare.
Absolutely.
They have disability insurance is free. They got all this package of all these free things they get. If he breaks his leg and can't go to work, he's got like Aflac.
Well, I like teachers. They say, well, look at what they get paid. They only get paid this. But they don't take account their pension. They don't take account their health benefits. You look at that whole the days out there. If you look at that, they're paid pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I know.
I worked as a professor, but I was an adjunct professor, so I didn't get those benefits.
They don't pay Social Security.
What's that?
Well, no, but they pay into para, though. It's the same shit.
I don't know if they do. I think para. No. I think para pays into that.
No, they pull from para. Technically, though.
A professor has a PhD.
Don't you pull into para? Don't they take money for para, just like Social Security?
I don't think.
We got to find out.
And for adjunct, you had to have 4,000 hours.
You're saying the company pays
area?
Yes.
I know. I just mean that academia looks down on that. They
call,
I know they call you an instructor.
Oh, yeah, they do.
A professor has a PhD. Yeah. That's what they. In college, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Even a master's degree, you're an instructor.
Yeah. Even at a technical school. Like, how's that?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. You know, I asked Dr. Chris Centeno, and he said they have actually used stem cells for TMJ. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, their approach to beautiful teeth, beautiful smile, they said more people come in for a smile than they do for the TMJ and for the sleep apneas. But as a result of what they do, the sleep apnea and the TMJ goes away. They align your jaw and use mouth expanders, palate expanders, that you wear in your mouth, if they're invisible, as an adult. And over a 2-year period, your teeth begin to straighten, and then you use Invisalign braces at the end. In a 2-year period, you have a completely beautiful smile. TMJ goes away, sleep apnea goes away, and you've had no surgery and no extractions. It's called the new orthodontics. And instead of cosmetic surgery, which costs 10, 20 times as much, you can do this for a few $1,000s, and it's done. 303-690-0100. The new orthodontics, Dr. Kent Lawson. Let's talk. What's on your mind? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Nick said he actually changed his vote. Now, was it based on a political ad, Nick?
Yeah, it was.
Tell me what happened.
Well, as I read just proposition, it wasn't so much on a person, but Proposition 109 and 110, or 110, Proposition 110, 109, it says 109 won't cost you a dime. Well, if you read it, as I was doing my investigating on all of the things before I voted.
Well, you were reading more than an ad, or was it the ad?
Well, the ad says that 109 won't cost you a dime, but as I read the actual logistics of it, is they're not going to raise taxes. They're just going to keep adding to the debt that tax is costing. They just want to raise the limit of the money they can keep taking from you. So I don't know how they think.
So what changed your mind? The ad didn't change your mind. The reading of it changed your mind.
The reading of it did, and I probably might even have went for it, but just because of the ad saying it won't cost you a dime, well, it's totally false. It's going to cost more than a dime. It's it's raising the debt limit of what.
Well, I think you made my point that you didn't listen to the ad. You went and you read it.
Well, now that you said that, yeah.
I mean, you did. You said, wait a minute, that sounds too good to be true, and you didn't change. I mean, maybe you saw it and thought it sounds too good to be true. So in a way, it did change your vote. I don't know, but thank you. If it gets people to look at issues, maybe that's good, right? 303-713-TALK. Okay, Monty, we got some photos from you, and I have your roof. Your thing here. Can you go back to the original problem?
After one of the hailstorms, we decided, a bunch of neighbors, to go with concrete roof. After investigations, I went with a local company made for Colorado, being a native.
What did you have before this?
Asphalt,
and you paid the upcharge from your insurance company?
Yeah, about 20 grand.
You paid 20 grand extra?
Yeah.
Wow. But how much were you paid by insurance?
I can't remember. It was like 20 grand. It was extra 20 grand to go to.
So 20 plus 20, you paid 40 for this roof.
Almost 40, yeah.
Okay.
By the time it was done.
Okay, 20 insurance and 20 out of pocket. So what's the problem?
The problem started right from the get-go. It started outgassing, and they came back and the roofer, which is a native too, kind of sent me over to Burrell. I dealt with the territory rep.
Burrell is the supplier, and
yes,
here's what I don't understand. The outgassing part, I guess you can't send photos. What's the end result of outgassing?
Well, they said it was efflorescence, which in the dictionaries it means to flower out in French. And it's the migration of salt to the surface of a porous material.
And what does it do? How does it manifest?
Well, it's either good or bad. It seems like when they put it on a roof, so it got so bad that I threatened the lawsuit.
How does it manifest, sir? How would you know that your roof is outgassing when you look at it?
Oh, just by looking at it, it got chalky looking and didn't look right. And then it leaked onto the gutters and stained the gutters.
So
and they had to replace the gutters a second time.
So it outgassed, and what is your other problem?
Well, then they brought somebody out from California that's been doing it 30 years with UV coating. So they basically painted it with the UV coating and with my background and everything.
Did they paint it, or did the UV coating sink in and they sealed it?
It's supposedly a sealed in.
That's a different. That's different. That's like sealing concrete, and that thing, that's semi-permanent, and it's not a coating. There's a whole different story whether they sealed it or they coated it.
Yep.
Well, did they seal it or did they coat it?
It looks sealed. It does not look coated.
It's sealed.
Well, then that should solve the problem.
It should have, but then I had one tile slide out, had the same roofer come back out, and the young guy came off the roof and said, you got 40-plus tiles that are cracked and broken.
Now, those should be replaced, in my opinion, because you haven't been up on the roof, have you?
No.
And this looks like, first of all, when tile breaks, it's from either installed improperly, or, and it's not hung properly, or they didn't walk on it properly. Well, no, where yours is broken, this one tile, that's where you walk on it. You're supposed to walk on the downward upper part, the upper part of the down tile. That's where you walk. You don't walk on the lower part. You walk on the upper part of the lower tile, and then you put your foot on that one, and then you can go up one and use the upper part of each tile where it bears down on the wood strip is where you walk on it.
I'm curious if his neighbors are having all these same troubles with the outgassing and the broken tiles.
I kept them threatened, and so they sent the guy from California that coated it.
Yeah, the coating, they didn't coat it. They sealed it. There's a big difference. Listen, let's stick with one issue. The cracked tile is the only issue I see you have. If they sealed your concrete, you're good to go. I would be more concerned with the cracked tile, and it's a very simple matter. If they installed them and they're cracked, they should replace the cracked tile.
Well, they have to color match it now because it's been in the UV for.
They have to what it?
I have the same striping on the gutters that the original dye in the concrete is still coming off, obviously, on the gutters.
Listen,
we noticed that.
Monty, I'm asking, are they willing to replace the broken tile?
Yes.
Then what is the problem?
I've been driving the bus. They've ignored me. Now it's been a month since they sent their quality guy out, and he installed them for 10 years. And he walked on. He said, "Those are from somebody walking on it."
That's right, Monty.
Guy that coated it.
So,
and I said, "They're going to coat them." So I had extra ones behind the fence, and he was going to get back with me.
Okay, so what we need to do is contact them and ask them when they're going to replace the broken tile. Okay. Okay, that's what I think you need to do. I mean, we need to replace the tiles. I got to take a break. I'm running overtime.
Concrete does it all the time.
But I do see.
I've heard it called line leaching, where the line leaches out. You can call it whatever the hell you want.
But they're going to be different colors.
Two tiles. You better call it.
Yeah, but it'll catch up, won't it?
What's that? Yeah, it'll all even out, for God's sake.
Concrete. I'm not sure where he was going. Does he want a new roof, or what was he saying?
Well, he's not going to get a new roof.
No way.
I think he's worried.
He's right, though. Whoever went up and sealed it, who broke them. They didn't train him how to do it.
Hey, Fritz, I haven't forgotten about you coming back to you. Okay, hold on, man.
Yeah, I don't see that I think Paro's just like a retirement for them.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know they weren't vested themselves in it.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I see that. So you're right. They don't pay Social Security.
Say that again?
They don't take it out of your pay.
I'm right.
They don't take it out of your pay.
That's what he found.
They don't. So you get it free, but you don't get any Social Security.
That's right.
They don't pay
It is your Social Security.
That is their.
So what if you work for them most of your life? You work somewhere else. Do you get
double dip? You would
double dip. You can. Yes. At the time you retire, if you work 10 years for Para, and then you don't work for them again.
I don't know what their vested is.
But once you're vested, I'm asking, you don't have to retire with that.
My mom was a teacher most of her life, and we moved around all the time. We moved around every 4 years. She was always a public school teacher, and she ended up with basically no retirement because she was never in one school district long enough.
But then they start
Does it accumulate?
Yeah, but she'd take it when she left, a little bit that they built up. Because it didn't make sense to be sitting in some plant in New York when you're off the
Yeah, but can't you just take it and transfer it to the new para?
That I don't know. I just know.
Every state's different. Every state has their own retirement.
I think you got to
Are you
cash out.
shitting me?
No.
Each state has its own para?
Yeah.
Right, they don't call it para, but they have their own retirement for teachers, yes. It's a state by state. Yeah.
Like California.
They're not federal.
No. That's why they don't get Social Security.
Colorado's weird because some teachers actually get Social Security. In other words, each district, I believe, can actually vote. Do we want to do our own pension or do we want to do Social Security?
I would challenge you.
Look it up. Lunch. Double lunch.
It stands for Public Employees Retirement Account, right?
Yeah. There's other people that are in para besides teachers.
Well, you show me.
I'll show you what.
Where it says that the districts are...
Right. So what? Do teachers in Colorado have to participate in para?
They're all MDs working with true living stem cells harvested from your own fat or bone, then strategically delivered with guided injections. Only MDs deliver the injection.
How do we phrase that question?
Any other provider in the country.
Oh,
Why
wait.
would you go to a clinic with no MDs at all?
Okay, here we go.
Can
Do
help
all
painful joints,
school
back, shoulder,
districts
They can repair most ACL tears with a needle.
in Colorado
Before you have surgery,
use
consult
para?
Centennial
How's that?
Schultz at 303-963.
No, para, how you spell para? It's P-E-R-A.
At a true medical regenerative clinic, Centennial Schultz.
Ibn, what's Ibn?
It's a
303-963-9201. And on my referral list at referralist.com.
Many school districts in Colorado provide teachers with health insurance plans specific to those districts and access to the para account. Though some of the schools might provide insurance plans separately, but we're talking more on the benefits.
Right,
All in a convenient capsule or powder. We call it Texas Superfood Complete Organic.
That commercial
Hi,
thing's
I'm
good.
naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, and I invented Texas Superfood almost 20 years ago with one
There
goal
we go,
in mind.
Colorado
To help
para.
people
Let's
like
see
you
what
who
this
lead busy lives get the all-natural
Denver
nutrition that
affiliated
every one of us needs
employers,
and deserves.
Denver Public
So if you
Schools,
can't, won't, or don't
local
eat all your
government.
organic fruits
Still
and
not
vegetables
answering
every
the
day,
question. I know they vote on
Superfood
it.
Complete Organic makes eating healthy easy.
Well, like there, that's like adding, what, 7% to their,
I don't know how much
salary.
they put apart yet.
Well, if they don't pay Social Security, they get retirement. Plus, it's better than Social Security. It's a higher retirement pay.
630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can.
And so when people say on teachers and stuff, they don't take the whole package. Just like they said about Walmart, oh, they only pay $10 an hour. But they got this whole package of benefits.
On 630 KHOW.
I want to remind you, it's open enrollment, and you need to sign up for insurance till January 15th. And I recommend Integra Insurance Group. Don't try to buy health insurance alone. Integra Insurance is the broker of choice. They are certified to sign you up in the exchange to get the benefits and the subsidies, or outside of the exchange if you're not eligible for any. Health insurance made simple and smart. IntegraInsurance.com, 303-466-5500. You gain nothing by doing it yourself, by going direct. Nothing. You gain nothing but confusion. Use Integra, 303-466-5500. Okay, so Fritz, we left off with a while ago, and I wanted to get back to you. And I wanted to make sure I had my ducks in a row with our attorney. And he said, if you've done work either directly for the homeowner or for the general contractor, you still have lien rights. You can lien that property, and it's been August, right? That's when you delivered?
Yeah, the last time I delivered was October 18th.
Oh, man, you are well within your rights. You have to give notice, and then you lien the property. And Fritz, I have no idea why you would not do that. In fact, when you hire an attorney, you get attorney's fees. So you go to a collection attorney. We have some that'll help you.
There could be one issue.
What?
If that's whoever actually owns the property, if that's their primary residence, and they paid that contractor, the GC, in full.
In full.
In full, they have an affirmative
But
defense.
wait, it's for a yoga studio up in Woodland Park,
Then
but
it's
I
not
think
gonna
it's
matter.
on private property.
It doesn't matter.
I think.
It doesn't matter if it's for commercial use. But
What Mark meant was to save homeowners and protect them. The law says if it's your private residence, if you paid the general in full, and if you have a written contract, then that's an affirmative defense against liens. So I don't think you fall into that. I think you'd be able to collect. You have to do that. Pat says he has. Is it he or she, Pat?
I'm a guy.
Okay, Pat. You heard about the guy who said he had a circuit breaker replaced and the one above it keeps blowing out.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I had the same problem. I had an electric heater installed.
Yeah.
They put in a new breaker.
Yeah.
And that breaker was getting warm enough that it was tripping the one right above.
Why was it getting warm, the new one?
They didn't put in a large enough breaker.
Oh, yeah, and he said he had a new 15-amp circuit put in, and that's a very low amperage, so it wouldn't take much to heat it up.
Yeah, so I could actually touch the breaker in the panel, while the heater was running, and you could feel it getting warm. And then it was tripping the one right above it. Was the problem?
Very interesting.
It's odd how it didn't trip itself, too.
Yeah, I know that's weird, but
that is weird.
The electrician came out and just moved stuff around in the box, and then put in a larger breaker, and that fixed the problem. So.
Thank you very much, Pat. And I had referred him to people that will, find the problem for $39. So, but thank you for that. We appreciate it, Dr. Chris Centeno. As far as stem cell therapy and cord blood. Is cord blood different than the amniotic fluid?
No, it's the same bait and switch. These are dead cell products. They're regulated to be dead cell products.
Are they dead when you grab them when you grab the umbilical cord? They're not dead, right?
No. So if we were to go to the OB ward and grab one and use it right there, that would be different. But obviously this stuff is then taken from an OB ward, sent to a processing facility. It hangs around for a while. It's processed. Then it's frozen. Shipped halfway across the country. Then shock thawed.
So when they give these tests showing millions of living cells, are they showing it at the harvest site?
The test is the wrong test. It's a simple live dead stain. And the problem is that these cells are dying once they're being thawed.
So once they're delivered to you in treatment by a chiropractor,
it's dead and dying.
And hardly any alive.
There's none alive ever that we've been able to document in our $1 million lab.
All right. People, remember this. Get ripped off or get it done right. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. Right.
After talking to Monty, I really don't know what he wants.
Oh, he didn't really say.
And it is a bright light in the community of chiropractic.
He should talk to. I wanted to talk to the manufacturer, saying, will these eventually, like you say, catch up?
Then the misalignment can screw with nerves.
Unless they didn't seal them the same.
It's a cycle that you need to break.
What did they say? I didn't hear you.
I went back there to get the phone number from Monty to who to call, and he just goes off on a bunch more stuff. I'm just lost.
Did you call them?
Both places I called, one of them the phone number's no good. He gave me the other place I called. It is an answer machine will call me back.
University and County Line Road. It's in the Promenade Shopping Center in Highlands Ranch. 720-583-4506. Finally, the
Tom really doesn't like Trump. It's taken me a while to, I know I'm 99% sure he voted for him, and he likes his policies, but he really doesn't like.
I don't know what he expected. That's what he was.
He never pretended to be anything but.
He said he was.
No, he did say, "I'll be so presidential, you won't even believe it." Remember that?
Okay, well, that's his version of presidential. I don't know.
He did say that. That was a quote.
To be honest, I don't care.
I think 20 years from now, 30 years from now, we're going to look back at Trump in the same way we look back at Gary Hart. How quaint was all of that?
Yeah.
Meaning that it's going to be so polarized and so cray-cray by that point that we're going to look back at this and we're like, oh, Trump was pretty tame.
That was nothing. Yeah, it has truly unleashed a lot of things.
It's nuts.
I like what he said. He could go out into Times Square and shoot a supporter. I think I would still vote for him. It's super terrific happy hour.
I kind of look at him. Remember when Ali came? Ali was totally different than any boxer. People hated him because he was cocky and
real
that.
Well,
and they did. They hated him, but he was the greatest fighter.
And now they're all like that, though.
Changed his name to Muhammad Ali, which they didn't like. People didn't like.
Yeah, back then.
He missed the war, right? Because of
yes, he did.
Yeah,
but he went to jail for it too.
He literally dodged.
He paid his dues.
I didn't know he dodged. I thought he got off on the religious reasoning.
They kicked him out of boxing. They kicked him out of boxing.
You could apply for religious reasons, not to be drafted.
He had a very good.
Yeah, you could be a conscientious objector.
Yeah,
the Mormons or is it Mormons or the conscientious? Which one?
I don't
know. Not Mormons. The
Scientologists.
No, the people back in Pennsylvania. The
Dutch.
Yeah, but the
Pennsylvania Dutch. No.
Amish.
The Amish or the Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah, they are.
They're
right.
And it's actually it was Deutsch, German.
Yeah.
Deutsch is German.
Yeah.
German for German. So that's where the Pennsylvania Dutch came from. They're not Dutch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania Deutsch.
My grandparents
call what they call themselves. We interpret that to be Dutch.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Deutsch is the German word for German. They would say,
I didn't know that.
That's wow. I didn't know that. So,
my grandparents from southern Ohio, and there was a huge Amish group there, or what do they call them?
Mennonites.
No, they had Mennonites too. They had Mennonites.
They're also,
I had relatives
and
decided
Amish.
to become
Mennonites drove cars, black cars.
They had to work their butt off.
But they had both there. I remember that my grandparents were Jewish.
No one in the family knew it till the daughter came out. Actually, visited
came over as
she's a little younger than us, but she's my cousin.
The ones that
comes out and she told me about her growing up with her parents decided to be.
Oh yeah. How many years did they do it?
More than any of us knew.
Yeah.
They were Hessians.
The
whole area down there was
Did she like her?
German, and they still used a lot of German.
Really? Like what was the hell? Because they had to work and they didn't get any.
No,
in fact, CD.
The part she didn't really bring up any of this work ethic you're talking about. It was more or less where she had to go to school and that kind of
Okay.
And I went up into the Amish country.
Probably
home
homeschooled, right?
I don't know.
Or their own little schools.
I forget. Hey, which one of my relatives was Mennonite? You remember?
Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
Where the Amish built the carriages, go around.
My aunt Banks.
Slave built there.
Right.
And this Amish factory was unbelievable.
We had no idea.
But they're
It's like they did it so well from even my mom. When I told my mom that her sister was Mennonite, my mom was blown away. Had no idea. Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like they hid it.
So they had power tools.
We also found out she had to, what is that called when they gag themselves after they eat?
Oh, flipping.
Bulimic?
Flipping.
Isn't bulimic?
Well, what's the other one? One you don't eat.
Anorexia.
You don't eat.
Bulimia,
So she would,
puke.
she would eat and then puke, but she went in for a treatment for 6 months. She's good now, but
Hired jockeys to work on my.
She refunded?
Metal buildings.
Refunded.
They over 140 pounds of a rope.
I pay for those meals.
So we hired jockeys, and the jockeys would go and eat lunch, and then they go.
You got a problem with that?
At 1 o'clock, they go puke. It's like.
I love
that.
that. So you've got a problem with that because what did Jerry say to him? Because you're concerned? Of course I'm concerned. I paid for those meals. I would be pissed too, man.
George is so. It was like that when he was going to become Latvia. Latvia, remember that?
What was it, Jewish? No, it was
no, Latvia.
But it was Orthodox too. It was Orthodox something or other. What do you really like about the religion? I like the hats.
But he said, you're the first girl that didn't care about having a lobster. And then she breaks up with him and she orders a lobster.
Pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, even if you don't know what it is. The
so funny.
Frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain.
It's so timeless too. When I grew up, my mom would always watch The Honeymooners, so I've seen every episode of that. And man, that was way ahead of its time too. That was hilarious. Oh man, was that?
And it wouldn't fly today.
No.
No, yeah, none of it.
Oh, not with the
To the moon.
Alice?
To the moon. To the moon. A lot of reference of,
Yeah.
tuning them up.
He did a lot of tuning up.
Or at least threaten.
Maybe it's stopping you from refinancing to a better rate. Hey guys, it's Russ Kaminsky.
God, he was a funny actor. He was even good in that stupid, what was the one where he was chasing Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah.
Man, he played that character.
Yeah.
Buford T. Justice.
Buford T. Justice.
Mark Carney was good in it too, though.
Oh, the neighbor?
Yeah.
Ralph?
Oh, yeah,
Ralph?
Yeah, Ralph.
The Honeymooners with
I
the
thought he was
stars.
And if you're just
It had Joyce Randolph.
What a low budget show. They were just in that little apartment almost always and stuff. You know.
I remember one episode in the bar. In the kitchen. You never saw the, well, not never, but you basically never saw the bedroom.
In their kitchen, they had a refrigerator that had a round top.
Yeah, that was
a monitor top. Yeah, I've got one.
A monitor was an icebox.
A monitor top refrigerator.
Yeah,
but I think that one
was the compressor.
Yeah.
What that was?
His, you think so?
Yeah, that was one of the first stoves.
Really?
They did have real iceboxes. Oh yeah, it works beautiful.
Where did
not very efficient with that.
Not real efficient, but it has no moving parts.
Where did Norton work?
It has a
The sewer.
Yeah.
And then whatever it was in bus driver. That's right. Yeah.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, whether you're refinancing or buying, go with a direct mortgage lender, no middleman fees, and an interest rate guarantee over the next 2 years, 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. If rates go down, you get refinanced free of charge. IdealHomeLoans.com. Welcome to the show. We're here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints, to make your life a little easier. Dr. Chris Centeno's with us from Centeno Schultz Stem Cell Therapy and Stem Cell Clinic. He was the first one to do it in a clinical setting. And we're constantly battling all of the falsehoods out there. Chiropractors decided, I guess, they don't want to be chiropractors anymore, and they start shipping in this amniotic fluid and injecting people, calling it stem cell therapy, which it is not. And neither is umbilical cord blood that they ship in. In short, you can't ship in stuff. We also had a discussion on a concrete roof. This guy was pissed. Two things. It was bleeding or outgassing, and it needed to be sealed, and he was pissed that it was put on without being sealed. They sealed it. Now he says there's a bunch of cracked tile, and we're contacting the roofer to get those replaced. Did you talk to the guy?
No, I had to leave a message.
Did you talk to the consumer?
Yes.
Is he looking for a new roof? What is he looking for?
I'm not exactly certain, Tom.
I guess I'd be pissed, though, if I paid $20,000 extra on top of the insurance proceeds.
I think he was alluding to he wants a new roof, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But no concrete roof is going to be perfect. The nature of the beast. Bill has a question for Dr. Centeno. Go ahead, Bill.
Yes, I just found out last week that Medicare pays for some laser treatments. Does Medicare also pay for some stem cell treatments?
No. What kind of laser treatment does it pay? Does it pay for? What?
Skin laser.
Oh, I see. You mean not for cosmetic reasons, for
cancer, probably.
For skin cancer.
As well as medical.
But is it for skin cancer?
No, it's in general.
No.
It depends. I don't know.
It will not pay. It will not pay for laser treatment on your skin, just in general. It has to be to take away a spot or skin cancer. Medicare is not going to pay for any cosmetic procedure, period.
Yeah, precancerous lesion. Now, some clinics can play that game and try to
get stem cells covered.
No. Well, same game, but try to get laser covered.
Yes.
But realize that game comes with an orange jumpsuit if you get caught.
Now, what about stem cell therapy? Does Medicare pay for anything to do with stem cells? Anything?
Only for cancer use. So that would be hematopoietic stem cell
for
therapy.
Leukemia and stuff?
Yeah, it's when they irradiate you and get rid of your own immune system, then try to replace your immune system.
then they would pay for it.
They would pay for that. But outside of that, no, nothing else is covered. Now, again, there are clinics that are trying to play all sorts of games and get this or that covered, but if they get caught, it comes with an orange jump.
When they cloned that
Deborah,
sheep,
you're next.
Does that have anything to do with stem cells?
Not like this, no.
No.
Okay.
Deborah?
Yes.
What's going on? What's going on, Deborah?
Yeah, I called about a month ago saying I had the stem cell injection and it didn't do any good. And
Who did you have it from?
Atlas Medical Center.
And how did you find out about Atlas?
Well, another person that I had met said she went to that center and they injected stem cells in her knee and it seemed to relieve some of the pain. So I thought, well, and then I started doing some research on stem cells. It looked positive, and so anyway, paid a lot of money to have, some health benefit, and apparently I got nothing.
Okay, so this
then
Atlas,
I went to the credit card company to, have it reversed, and they denied us. So
why did they deny you?
Because they said we couldn't return the product. I said, well, it was injected. You can't return it. I said, but we experienced fraud.
We
had 30 million stem cells, which is not true.
Wait, were you actually told in writing you had 30 million stem?
Yes.
Yeah, I would go to the Attorney General. The Colorado Attorney General is very interested in these cases right now.
Good. I also want to take a look at it. Deborah, you never supplied us with any information, contracts
that... Yeah, I did.
Wait.
I did.
Wait.
I sent you the contract.
Hold on. And it said...
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I would have remembered this. I'm looking right now. Are you positive that it said something about living stem cells? Because I don't remember that part.
Yeah, on the paper it says stem cell therapy, and then down at the bottom it said 30 million, because I asked her to write that in there.
That is incredible.
I wanted to make sure I was getting 30 million, and she goes, oh, you probably got even more than that, because they know if you are going to die in transport. It came from a lab in California. And so I thought, okay, we're pretty certain that we're getting what we're getting. And then I've heard experts on your program, I've heard other authorities that say it's impossible. And I know I don't have the health benefits that I was supposed to get.
Deborah, what did they treat? What were you getting treated?
It's systemic stem cell therapy.
No, so but what was wrong with you?
Well, there was a lot of things it was going to treat. Skin issues. It was going to clear up the COPD because I was exposed to secondhand smoke. I mean, just a number of things.
And they actually said this to you. I mean, they actually... Yes. I'm looking in my folder here for stem cell therapy. If I got that from you, my God, did I respond to you?
You called and I told you, and you said, "Well, go to the clinic." I did.
I understand, but when you sent me, when did you send me that? I'm looking for your contract because I will help out. I mean, this is
that'd be wonderful.
No, if you actually
I've done all my steps. I tried to do everything.
No. You say I'm looking in my file for stem cell clinics. Hold on, and your first name is Deborah. I don't see it. I, honest to goodness, have a file.
You might see it under Barbara.
Okay, under Barbara.
Under Barbara, yeah.
I have Karen. I have some other people. Suzanne, I need to get a hold of her contract where it actually promised 30 million stem cells. Listen, Deborah, I have not forgotten about you. I, honest to goodness, don't have it. Please send it again.
And Deborah, we may be able to do one better because we're actually now working with CSU, who's going to be doing some more testing on these products. We've tested about 8 of them ourselves. So if you can get the name of the product, we can throw it into the test up at CSU.
Yep. Okay, Deborah, we're going to do that. I think that we should continue with the credit card. And how much did you spend, Deborah? How much?
Twice.
How much did you spend?
$5,400.
Well, that's a small claims court. Man, that's really good. No, listen. I want the contract. That's the very first thing. Send the contract. Dr. Centeno, I notice a lot of these phony clinics are shying away from stem cell therapy. They're calling it regenerative therapy.
Yeah, and there's some growth factors in this stuff, like PRP.
They're not claiming it in some, like I believe a lot of these clinics. I think Dr. Gene Ripoff Jones, Dr. Dean Jones downtown, I think Stem Cell Institute of America, what is the name of his place? Anyway, I believe he took out stem cell from his literature.
Well, that's because he got thrown out of South Dakota. Was fined by the Attorney General.
No, not him personally, but stem cell.
Him personally.
No, not Dr. Dean's been here in you're talking about Stem Cell Institute.
No, he's got a clinic in South Dakota. He was fined by the Attorney General in the state of South Dakota. Look it up. And they got thrown out. So I'm sure that's why the changes were made.
Dr. Gene Jones compensates. Let's see. He is with he says North Dakota. You're right.
North Dakota, sorry.
You're right. He does. And also Denver and San Diego and Colorado Springs he has. And he does say, he's still saying stem cell, the miracles of stem cell therapy. Yeah. He lectures 2 to 4 times a month on it. So he's one of but a lot of them have done away with the wording of stem cell therapy, and I think they're just calling it regenerative. Anyway, we have a comment on that concrete roof. Ken, go ahead.
Yeah, Tom, I don't know much about the outgassing, but I can tell you he's got a lot bigger problem than that.
What is it?
I've been a builder for over 50 years, and I can tell you that when you build a house, that roof, those trusses were designed to support that comp roof. It was not designed to support a concrete roof. There's a huge difference in the way you.
Don't you think his roofer would have known?
Oh, well, you tell me. Let's put it this way. There is absolutely no way to beef up that roof to support a concrete when it's designed to support a comp roof. There's no way to do it. Right now, it was designed to support a comp roof and a snow load. And if he gets a big snow load on top of that concrete right now, he's in trouble.
Well, I don't know. That is something he needs to look into. And I don't know who that falls on. Should the roofer have checked that? And would it pass code? Would it pass code if he didn't have would it pass code, Kent?
No, I don't know how he could get a permit to do it. The only way that he could ever pass a roof inspection would be if the inspector came out and did not realize that there was a comp roof on there before he should inspect in the concrete.
But how do you know it wasn't overbuilt, the house? How do you know?
Well, because I've been a builder for over 50 years. You just don't do that.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's a lot to know. You can't just go ahead and upgrade. And by the way, speaking of builders, I'm not talking about you, but these track builders, they put in these window wells. They're cheap pieces of crap, you know, the corrugated metal. They rot away and water gets into your basement. But if you want to rebuild those window wells, they're called egress windows. Maybe put in new windows. DenverEgressWindow.com. Great people with a great product. They can even punch through the foundation and put in new window wells where none existed before. They can even do walkout basements on relatively flat lots by terracing down into a patio area. Denver Egress Window opens up square footage in your home. They protect your home. They add value, beauty, and durability to your window wells, your egress windows. DenverEgressWindow.com. Call them 720-626-4221. 720-626-4221.
The North Dakota Attorney General that fined that guy. I then submitted a complaint against his chiropractic license here, and I got a letter back from the chiropractic board saying that he had been disciplined, and that they had sent him on to the discipline committee. That's
Disciplined here?
Disciplined here.
Mark, would you call live on the air with your cell phone? Dr. Gene Jones therapy and say, we read about your stem cell therapy, we're live on the air. Would you come on the air? And just don't put them on the air, but have me hear you talking to them. In other words, I don't care.
Oh yeah, like a salesperson.
Here's the number, and I'll tell you when to hit send.
Traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How.
What is it? Star what? 67 or 69?
67.
67.
Go ahead. What's the number?
720. 709.
Go to 23andme.com/gift and get yours today.
And what do you want me to tell them?
I just say, look, I'm with the Tom Martino Show. We want Dr. Gene Jones to come on. We're reading about his stem cell therapy here online.
and we want to know if he'll talk about it. We want to be fair.
Here, I'll do it on
But I don't want his. I don't want to do it cold because he's not. Don't do it now.
You made 2 comments.
No, do it when we're on the air. I want to do it live.
Okay. You want me to do it on speakerphone?
No, because I don't. We can't. See, we can do rip-offs live because they're never going to complain. This guy could complain legitimately, and we're done. So that's why if I hear only your side, that's fine.
Got it. So I'll call while we're doing it.
Yeah, what's to north?
Star 69.
Here's what he says. Stem cell therapy is a revolutionary new potential alternative to surgery.
Support.
Here's what it says. When stem cells are introduced into the area that is causing pain and arthritic conditions, the research shows that stem cells have the ability to regenerate the damaged tissues into healthy versions.
But he's not
of the
saying
cells
he's
around
using
them.
stem cells.
Are you listening? Yes, as the stem cells transform.
Where does he say he uses stem cells?
Right here. Stem cell therapy. This is one of their services, stem cell therapy.
I understand, and I think it's bullshit, but does he actually say he uses
Yes,
it
it says services, and stem cell therapy
I know.
is one of, well, Mark, he's saying he does stem cell therapy. Therapy using stem cells is stem cell therapy. I mean, he is saying that's his service. He also has one called,
Is that him just
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, right there. He sells frozen steaks out of the bag, too. Yeah. Doing wonders for arthritis patients.
Yeah. Where do you, is that him?
Yeah.
I'm getting clearer now.
West to north is the name of the clinic.
Yeah, you're right, west to north. Oh, he changed his name then.
How much do you think those guys pay for the bag of shit they get?
About $1,000. That's a good business. I mean, every single, I figured out, one delivery is worth about $1 million to a tissue bank today. $1 million a delivery. So you can see how, I mean, look at that pay the woman. Even if you pay the woman a couple grand at most, maybe 1,000, maybe 500. Most of it they probably get for free. $1 million between the amniotic fluid, the umbilical cord stuff, and
They invented a new business, basically.
It's cray. I mean, $1 million per delivery. That's a lot of money. Even it cost you $300 to do the communicable disease testing, and maybe
treatment options. It says
$2,000
stem cell therapy.
Yeah. I got arthritis. What is stem cell therapy? Every day, the magical cells of our body. Stem cells have the ability to transform themselves.
Like that lady said was going to cure everything from nearsightedness to...
Well, that's what's happening now. So they're going from arthritis into stuff like this. What do you have? I've got COPD, my joints ache, I've got this autoimmune condition. Oh, we'll give you an IV stem cell therapy, and that's going to cure it all. Which is pretty insane.
Graying hair.
Yeah, it's all going to go. Erectile dysfunction, you know.
There you go. You know, over the years, though, that every snake oil thing has always promised overpromised. You know, you should be learning here.
Stem cell therapy. Doesn't say live stem cell therapy.
Laboratory researchers and clinical trials have shown that stem cell therapy is the highest efficacy in treatment of arthritis. That's total bullshit.
Tom Martino
here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center are great people. If you have tinnitus, if you are plagued by tinnitus, please go see them. Dr. Patty, Dr. Lisa, Dr. Borsick have dedicated their practice to helping those with tinnitus and hearing loss, one or both. Clarkson and Hamden, they're in the urgent care building on the second floor, 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. I've gone there, and you're just not going to find a better clinic with more personalized care. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Steve, you want to give kudos to a business? Go ahead, Steve. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Hey,
yes.
It's Lee's Appliance and Refrigeration Service in Denver.
Yes, sir.
And, between Kane, who's the manager, maybe owner, I'm not sure, and Zach and Cody, over a period of a couple of months here, they got me a brand new Frigidaire refrigerator from Electrolux.
Wow.
Because they proved that the refrigerator could not be repaired. And they took pictures, worked with the techs at Frigidaire, and I got a brand new refrigerator. You can't
What was wrong that couldn't be repaired? I'm just curious.
Well, a bit of a long story, but it had a fault on the back of it, on the cabinet itself. The repair that Frigidaire paid for to fix it, actually, as they say, the operation was a success, but the patient died. It actually made the ice maker not work properly. And so then, of course, they couldn't repair the ice maker. I looked online. I found out that Frigidaire had 2 class action lawsuits. I told Kane and the guys about that, and so they went to work on it and got me a new refrigerator.
I'm really happy he's talking about Lee's Appliance and Refrigeration Service. That's great. We're always looking for good people. And speaking of good people, Brian is with Eagle Property Inspections, and he has a comment on the concrete roof situation. First, we get a guy that calls and says he upgraded from asphalt to concrete. He said he paid an extra $20 on top of the $20,000 his insurance paid. Now he's saying he's got cracked tile and he's pissed off. We're going to try to get them to replace it. Then we had another guy call and say if he had asphalt shingles first and upgraded to concrete, he's going to seriously he's going to affect the stability of his home unless the trusses were built for concrete. Go ahead.
Hi, Tom.
Yes, sir. What's your comment?
Well, I just wanted to add to the gentleman that did call in, that contractor. The gentleman that got that roof put on, the roofer themselves should have recommended that buyer of that or purchaser of that new roof, tile roof, get a structural engineer's report to verify whether or not that structure could support that extra weight.
I know, because it's possible that it won't. That what will happen then?
Well, under a heavy snow load, it could collapse.
Well, we need to check with him. Suzanne, you have his number, right? Or you have his number. Clint, would you go see what he did about the structural load? Thank you, Brian, with Eagle Property Inspections on our referral list at referralist.com.
It makes me wonder about my house, because I was thinking I'd have Excel out, and I wanted to go to a cement roof, too. I mean, I'm going to wait for a hailstorm.
You may not be able to.
That's right. I wonder that.
You have to see if it's structurally sound enough or if it will hold it. Not all homes are built for concrete. Mark, call that clinic.
Dean Jones?
Dr. Dean Jones. He used to be named something else. Now it's westtonorthmedicalsolutions.com, and he's bragging about stem cell therapy. Ask if he'd come on the show, but I want to call him. Obviously,
I'm calling right now.
The only people we put on the air cold are ripoffs because, they're cheating us anyway. But technically, we don't do that with anybody else because we don't want to get a complaint to the FCC.
Well, let's see if...
Yeah.
Hey, it's Mark Major with the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show out of Denver. We were hoping Dr. Dean Jones could come on and discuss stem cells with us.
Free advertising.
Please, thank you. She's checking to see if he's available.
Sure. He's probably ripping somebody off, so he wouldn't be available. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. So, meanwhile, Dr. Centeno, you said the state attorney general, isn't that a short timer anyway? We have the election coming up right now. Did you say the attorney general's office is interested in this?
It is. The North Dakota attorney general's office, I have confirmed, is communicating with ours.
Oh, with ours, okay.
About this same scam that they shut down up there.
Oh. So the state attorney general, and not everything changes when we get a new attorney general. I imagine if they have ongoing investigations, they're going to continue if they have merit. And certainly, we don't know who's going to be the new attorney general here, but
I know who I hope is.
Yeah. Okay. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Sarah's been holding a while. Sarah, go ahead. Sarah.
Hi.
What's happening?
How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on with Weld County Jail?
Yeah, have them call us back.
Hold on one sec.
And
hold on,
303-713-8255, and we'll get them right on. It's a priority. We'll get them on. We
want him to
love to
defend
talk
himself,
about stem cells and defend what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So, Sarah, what's going on with the jail, Weld County?
Well, my son's being detained there right now. He's been there since August 4th.
Why is he in there so long?
Well, he originally went in there for a probation violation.
Oh.
And so he went to court for that, and they reinstated his probation. But while he was there, he was waiting to go out of court in Lafayette for failure to appear. While he was waiting to be transferred to Lafayette Court, they decided to throw these crazy charges on him.
What crazy charges?
Well, he had been arrested this January of 2018.
While he was on probation, he was arrested.
Let me think. Yeah, he was on probation, but he was in a motel meeting a friend of his who had a debit card of his that someone had stole from my son. So he went to this guy's room to meet with him to get his debit card back. He got there.
Wait, your son went to get his debit card back?
Yes, that someone had stolen from him.
And why? How? Okay, what do you mean he went to get it back? How did he know who had it?
Well, his friend found out who had it and took it from that person who had possession of it.
And then his friend said, "Hey, I got your debit card back. I'll meet you."
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Come to my motel room and I'll give you your debit card.
Then what happened?
So my son and his girlfriend went to the motel, get the debit card, and his friend told him, "Well, give me like 20 minutes and I'll be right back." So they were already in the guy's room waiting for him to get back.
Your friend, he was in his friend's room waiting, and what happened?
Right. And he had been waiting like all night. He ended up falling asleep in there.
And what happened?
In the morning, the police knocked on the motel room door, and his girlfriend answered the door to them. My son was asleep.
And what happened?
Well, they woke him up to arrest him.
For what?
They said it was domestic violence or something. That someone had said there was fighting going on in the room.
So wait, so your son was in his friend's room waiting for his friend to come back with the debit card.
Well, the debit card was in the room because his friend owned the safe that was in the motel room.
Then why did the friend leave?
Well, let's just say there were dealings at that time. My son's addicted to meth.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's a meth addict.
Well, what is he doing in jail?
When they arrested
Wait, he kicked the habit. If he's been in jail for 4 months, he kicked the habit, didn't he?
I'm hoping.
Well, my God, he must have gotten really sick.
Yeah, they don't even think about that in that place.
Well,
they don't think about anything like that.
But he's obviously off meth now.
He is, and he's waiting. Like, he had a bond hearing today to see if they might reduce his bond, hopefully, so I can get him out of there. But while he's in there,
might be better off in there if he's still struggling with meth.
But Sarah, so
yeah, he's had a reoccurring illness of an abscess that will form between his buttocks and his spine.
Yeah.
And it's a reoccurring medical emergency. He usually goes to emergency, and they lance it and drain all the poison, out of it.
How old is your son?
He's 28.
Listen, Sarah. So, are you trying to get him out of jail? Is that what you're doing?
Well, here's the thing. When he was in there, like I said, he was seen for his back. The doctor he saw prescribed him ibuprofen for the pain.
Right.
Because it becomes like the size of it can become the size of a golf ball.
Okay, so go ahead. I understand. So what happened?
So he started taking what he thought was ibuprofen. 10 days later, he comes to find out. He went to a nurse, and she's like, "Well, what do you need?" He's like, "Well, I want to see the dentist for my teeth pain, and I want my ibuprofen that the doctor said I could have." And she said, "Well, you don't have any ibuprofen prescribed to you." He said, "Yes, I do. That's what I've been taking."
What has he been taking?
They were giving him lithium, a psychotic medication. And
maybe they think, hold on, man, maybe they thought he needed it. Maybe they thought he needed it.
He never saw the psych doctor.
Sarah, here's the unfortunate part. Here's the unfortunate part. You have a 28-year-old son who's a ward of the state at this point because he's on probation, he's charged with crimes, he's in jail. That doesn't mean they can treat him like a lab rat. But here's what I don't think. But Sarah, take a step back. Do you think they're trying to harm him?
Yes, I do.
I don't, Sarah. So that's where we disagree. I don't think they
Okay.
gave him.
Well,
No, Sarah, I'm not saying.
There are two Randy Rodriguez's that are incarcerated there.
So do you think they're trying to hurt him on purpose, giving him the wrong medication?
No, that's not what I'm thinking with that. They made a mistake. They made a mistake. But
Oh, you're saying they gave the wrong medication to him because there's two Randy Garcias.
Yeah, two Rodriguez's. Yes.
Rodriguez's, I'm sorry.
And they didn't even check the birth date or nothing when they prescribed the medication.
But what did the poor other guy do without it? What did the other guy do?
Exactly. And my son did feel a lot of the side effects from it. But in the meantime, we're still talking because I listened to
Okay, listen. Listen, what you need to do, you need to consult an attorney.
That's what I thought.
No, listen, we have someone who will do a free consultation on this. Everyone deserves to be treated with their rights. Okay? Hold on. I'm going to have a recommendation. And you hold on because Susan has a comment. Please ask Susan to hold on. Joseph A. Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. Now listen, before all you people start writing to me saying, "Why do you say this guy's a scumbag, he's a meth addict?" Listen, everyone deserves to be heard, okay? I don't know what the guy's doing, but if they truly messed up his medication, and in Weld County I wouldn't doubt it. And if this guy needs medical attention or whatever, listen, we're not animals, okay? He's accused of a crime. He's desperate. He's an addict. Call Joe, 303-429-6200. Joseph Lazara is a criminal defense attorney on our referral list. Joseph Lazara, 303-429-6200.
Oh my God in heaven, Mark. It's just pray to God that your kids.
Oh, the meth. Yeah, meth.
Thank God that your kids
meth and
Now listen, there's a movie called A Beautiful Boy, which is such a well done, beautiful movie, and it sucks. Don't ever see it because there's no reason for that movie to be made. But it's the most. It was made so professionally. The actors were so brilliant. It's called The Beautiful Boy. But Mark, here's what's crazy. Even though the movie's done flawlessly and the acting is wonderful, there's no reason for that movie because you go in there and get fucking depressed over addiction. Why somebody would see it, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe if you had an addict in your family, the best it will do is make you feel like, okay, I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? But there is no redeeming factor. I wonder why people make movies just to create misery. Well done, though. Holy crap.
And John Fuller understands that. He works with those who have been injured or hurt in automobile accidents. He can help you assess who to go after and go after who he needs to go after, which could include your own insurance company if they are resisting. And of course, he can go after the perpetrator, their insurance company, or somebody who was at fault that added to the accident. And here's the good news, though. You don't pay for any of that unless he wins. That's the important thing. This is how you reach him. 303-597-4500.
You think they will crack down?
His website is full
Dean Jones?
information that is so
Or just in general. I mean, there's a ton of all these guys, right?
You know, I hope so. I hope
he does want to.
I hope that the State Attorney General gets involved. I hope that chiropractic boards get involved because it can't be the medical board because that'll control chiropractors. It's the chiropractic board.
When I was contacting the Federal Trade Commission too, because there were false advertising using stem cells, I just can't seem to get a fire lit under anybody. We are Tom. We did.
Yeah, FTC did go after some stem cell clinics recently. So
good.
So you may be able to quote that and say, hey, this is the clinic you went after.
Okay. Well,
that was maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh no, it was long before that I contacted. Maybe we are doing some good. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the FTC is taking more notice now.
Yeah.
I mean, as an example, here's
well, Tom's taken this lady's complaining. We're taking those complaints and we're forwarding to them now.
That's good. So, laboratory research and clinical trials have shown that stem cell therapy has the highest efficacy in the treatment of arthritis. There's no support for that statement. You can't make that claim. You could say that early research shows promise, but this is classic chiropractic hyperbole stuff. It's also been proved to be successful in cases of animals suffering from arthritis. Again, not true. It just all is, it's cray-cray stuff.
Hey, does Sean also do employment law anymore? At all?
He might still do it a little bit, but You know there's no money in that. It's like landlord-tenant attorneys, man. If you're representing the damn tenant, there ain't no money.
The guy's starting to understand. He did get an engineering letter.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did get an
How
engineering
much heavier is concrete versus?
Oh my God!
Well, it's concrete versus
An
asphalt.
asphalt. Well, but I'm sure it's not like
Probably triple.
3,000 pound, concrete. I'm sure it's not like a.
No, it's a lighter weight concrete. Well, actually, there's two pairs. Actually, there is a denser one, but the newer ones are.
What is
it's
it?
called light. It's called lightweight tile. It looks like ceramic. That's what it just mimics ceramic,
But it's
except
concrete.
it's porous. It's porous.
Why not
So they
LVT?
seal it. You know what? I don't know.
What
You
is
know
LVT?
what? You know what? Maybe,
Vinyl
just
tile?
maybe, there's a roofing company working on it. Hold on. There are some sealed plastic products. Look it up. I'll bet you can find it.
I wonder if that won't hold up either.
Why?
I don't
That
know.
LVT strong as shit.
They made a plastic barrel tile. Do you know
You
something?
also- you also got sun.
Do you know something coming up next year that, I got to tell you something, Clint, I don't think people know the impact of this, and I don't think anybody gives a shit for private pilots. Do you know, no matter what kind of airplane you have to do ADS-B out?
Yes, I
Do
know.
you know that could be $5,000 per airplane?
Yeah.
Do you know how many airplanes get grounded? I mean, these guys with all of these little airplanes, they could never afford to.
The only advantage of the experimentals is they don't have to have a certified.
No, but they have to have it.
They have to have
You're
it.
not going to find one for less than $2,000.
Oh yeah, at least that. Yeah,
They have to have ADS-B output on every goddamn thing that goes in the air.
Yeah,
What are they going to do about fucking drones? They ought to make fucking drones do it. Why don't they make drones do it? Those little bastards can fly around me. I saw one. I was out flying thinking, I hope to God this isn't some asshole sitting at home, because if it runs into my tail rotor, I'm fucking, going down.
I'll tell you about the roof gun in a minute.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. The Raleigh House, we were speaking about addiction, this woman's boy in the jail. The Raleigh House gives free information on addiction. Now, the Raleigh House is an addiction treatment center. Do you know what the success rate is on on methamphetamines? Do you know what it is on addiction? What do you think the success rate is? 4%. 4%. 4%. Or death. 4%. 4% live. The rest either stay on it and die, or whatever. I don't know what else there is. I don't know. But the Raleigh House will give you all kinds of information. Ask. Ask about treatment facilities. Ask about the Raleigh House. Ask about cost. Ask about drugs. Maybe your son has a speed addiction. Maybe your daughter has something. Maybe your wife or husband are alcoholics. The Raleigh House is there to answer questions. They're not there to try to slam, bam, thank you, come on in. No, seriously. Call this number for help, for information first. They know if they give out enough information, they're going to get their people in there, the ones that are appropriate. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. Any good clinic, like Dr. Chris Centeno here, Centeno Schultz, any good clinic will tell you what? When you do not need their treatment. This is what I don't like about these chiropractic places doing this crap.
Everybody's got a credit card.
Yep.
Is a candidate.
And it bothers me. See, Bright Light Chiropractic never does that. In fact, they'll tell you chiropractic won't help you with this. Some chiropractors, no matter what's wrong with you, they say, oh yeah, we're going to adjust your back for type 2 diabetes. Give me a frickin' break. Or, oh yeah, we're going to do this fake stem cell therapy for this. This Dr. Dean Jones, one of the biggest ripoffs alive in my opinion. This guy should be ashamed of himself. And you know what the horror is? He does great chiropractic adjustments called advanced biostructural correction. I liked Dean. Dean was on my referral list. Then he got involved with Stem Cell Institute of America and all of that crap. And it's a sorry thing to see someone just give in to lying and cheating to sell a fake product. And Dean, I'm going to tell you something right now on Stem Cell Institute of America. If you don't like what I'm saying, sue me.
I just offered to have them on.
Do you know why? Do you know why I want them to sue me? Because I would bring in my experts, and they would have to, through discovery, they would have to show me clinical evidence
scientific evidence, if I go to court with any of these charlatans, including you, Ryan Helms, in Castle Rock with your cord blood, any one of you, sue me. And you know what happens? We go to court, and I slay you. I slay you.
You would be absolutely correct.
I'll slay you. Because I can't lie. Otherwise, that could be defaming. I am telling you, you're not using living stem cells in your therapy. Susan's got a comment on that kid, the methamphetamine addict in Weld County Jail. And I want people to hear me. Even addicts, I shouldn't even say it like that, but people with addictions, serious addictions, still should not be treated like animals. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, Tom. Listen, I manage a facility where we hired ex-prisoners and, believe it or not, current prisoners that were nonviolent, ready to be released, and the marshals would even pick them up every day at 4:30.
Wow.
Well, I got stories from them that there's more drugs in prison than out, and that some of them even got their addiction going in prison because of the boredom.
How the hell do you get drugs in prison? The guards?
They told me the visitors bring them in.
Oh.
But anyway, and the guards, believe it or not, the corrupt guards. But anyway, I just wanted to ask that woman to make sure her son's really healed.
You're right. You're right. He could still be on it, right? Yeah. Susan, thanks. Oh, Susan, what's the name of your business? Do you mind saying who you, because you hire inmates. Who are they? What's your business?
Well, I'm not going to say the name, but it's a call center that we represent Fortune 500 clients.
You know, really, I'm happy about that. I think that ex-cons should get work. Now, I don't think they should be going into people's homes, but I think nonviolent ex-cons, well, all ex-cons should have a chance. I mean, what difference does it make? If they went to jail, they should get a chance. Now, what they do, obviously, you got to be safe. If somebody had a problem with money all the time, cheating, lying, robbing, you don't put them in charge of money. But I think you can find something appropriate. God, I don't know. Some of these criminals, why are they criminals?
I think a lot of it's got to do with what they did. I mean, if they were thrown in the pokey for having a joint or something where it was illegal, who cares what they do now?
Hey, Daniel, I'm going to take you right now and then take a quick break, but what's going on with the car wash, man? Daniel?
Yeah.
What's going on with the car wash?
Yeah, so we went through the car wash, and our brand new truck received several scratches.
Oh, man, that would piss me off. How do you know it was the car wash?
So,
how do you know it's the car wash?
Well, we have a reason to believe that we had rain a couple days prior to us going to the car wash. We live off a dirt road, and the truck's brand new. I mean, this.
All right, but what kind of car wash was? What kind of car wash was it? A touchless or brushes?
No, it was the brushes.
All right, hold on a sec. We'll come back to you. All right. Wow. Simply Floors Inc. for simple savings. SimplyFloorsInc.com. And as soon as I do the commercial, I'm going to get an email from a guy who says, they didn't save me money. I am so sick and tired of hearing from him. SimplyFloorsInc.com. First of all, not everything's about you, sir. You know what he's upset about? He went out and found something, and then he was going to do it himself. He refused to show us invoices, and he's pissed that they couldn't match the price he was going to do when he did it himself for some ridiculous thing. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. And by the way, it's not you, Kevin. Kevin's another idiot. But anyway, Simply Floors Inc. I love them. I stand behind them. You want to save money. You want to get better service. Go to that website and look at any floor covering you want. Make an in-home appointment, and you'll save. 303-456-4660, because people say you never give me a number. They're at 52nd and Ward, southwest corner. They want you to go to the website first, simplyfloorsinc.com.
This guy really too. He's funny as shit. Every time you do that spot, he emails me.
I shouldn't have said that, though, because it makes it sound like he has a lot of complaints, and he doesn't. He has two.
Well, it was so. When he faxed over that invoice, that handwritten invoice.
Never had a complaint about it. Not one. I don't know the name.
I'm sure people can't help. That's a picture.
Oh, yeah, but I've never had a complaint.
What the hell kind of picture is that? Is that really the picture he said?
Yes.
What? What is it, guys?
Well, I sent you too.
It looks horrible.
But what is it we're talking about, guys?
Look at it. I mean, I don't even see.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Where's the truck?
I don't know. It's because you can see it so
No,
bad.
he's saying there's a scratch in the parking lot.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know.
This is what we do.
That's the person.
That's the guy with the scratch on the truck. He sent us these pictures.
Scratches in the parking lot.
It's great.
Oh, maybe he had the camera. Maybe he had the thing backwards. Like
Oh, so what? You should have looked at the damn picture that he sent.
You know, not everybody's perfect like you.
Is that a
shadow?
It's so bad. It's so bad that you can see it in the parking lot.
That's all that's left of his truck is the shadow.
It's so bad the shadow shows the scratch.
The guy does want a new roof, but he's got a couple points. They sealed the outside. The stuff is still leaching from the underside, staying in his gutters and house.
Oh wow!
They're never going to be able to seal that. And he's claiming those tiles are cracking with nobody walking on.
Well, they can't do that.
That's what he's saying.
Well, actually,
just in the weight.
No, he's saying nobody's walked on those tiles. They've been cracked since.
No, someone came up and sealed it. Remember?
I know, but he said when they sealed it, those cracks weren't there. They keep showing up now after the fact.
Well, that'd be pretty weird.
I know it is, but that's what he's claiming.
Well, yeah, but how? I mean,
He said they're just defective. He said they're just defective.
Just defective concrete that cracks for no reason.
I know.
Well, it's possible, I guess. I don't know how.
And the leaching is still coming out from underneath them. So.
When you say the LVT, I don't think they can hold up to the UV.
You know
they have it.
You know the stuff.
I thought you said fiberglass.
Well, they had a bunch of shit.
And then I thought you said that it had.
You don't think LVT could?
Well, like I say, that's what that UV is tough on that.
You know the Trex decking?
Yes.
The Trex decking. There was barrel tile. My neighbor had them. We looked into them in our house.
I've seen those.
Wouldn't take the.
They're cool.
It wouldn't take the barrel tile, the weight.
I'll probably get a synthetic.
But they were made out of plastic. They were made out of the same stuff that Trex was made out of.
Oh, really?
They were barrel tiles.
It's probably.
Trex doesn't hold up on the.
I bet it's light though. I bet it's lighter than Trex.
Well,
what is? Just synthetic roofing.
Our roof wouldn't take the weight of barrel tile like our neighbors.
I can see that.
So we looked into fake barrel tile.
We have barrel tile.
Huh?
We have real barrel tile.
Yeah.
No, next time if I
I'd love to look at it. That's why we were looking into it.
I think I'll get that synthetic. It looks really thick. It looks like cement, but it's probably even stronger.
Trex for the roof.
It was
like that.
It was a similar product to Trex for roof. It was a plastic.
I redid all our railings and steps in Trex. But our deck itself is cement.
Trex has a Trex brand has a big class action lawsuit.
For what would it do?
If you run your decking from the house out, you know, that direction, your deck, in the sun, it expands enough that it literally will push the deck, pull the deck out of your house.
Wait, no, they're lag bolted in. That can't happen.
99% of the time, they're run the other way anyway because the trusses come out from the house and you run the decking the other way.
Yeah, but if you run the decking perpendicular to the home, you're saying it'll push against the foundation. But how can you have enough power to do the lag bolt?
They're saying it pushes the deck apart. Maybe it's pulling the other things away.
But you know what's funny? That's one of the most common failures of the deck is the lag bolting. And two-story decks, I mean, they have fallen. I can't believe they allow lag bolting. I would want bolts and nuts on the backside with big washers. But they allow you to lag bolt. That's just a big giant wood screw into the goddamn.
Oh, okay.
Into the
Instead of having a bolt.
They're claiming the
that is scary.
I'm Tom Martino. Become the Banker is a seminar. Become the Banker. It's a very simple proposition. Here's what it is. You overfund life insurance, and then it grows tax-free. You have life insurance, that's extra benefit, but the reason is not to get life insurance. You just get as little as possible to get this cash account. What do you do with a cash account that grows tax-free? You can add more money to it by borrowing from yourself and paying yourself back an extraordinary amount of interest on purpose. When you, this is like your tax-free account without having a qualified plan like a 401k or IRA. This grows like that. Now, the money going in is not deductible, but you do it to grow it and then use it later in life to supplement Social Security, and you never pay tax on it, ever. BecomeTheBanker.info for more information. BecomeTheBanker.info
for a private session, 303-799-6600. Okay, so we got a lot going on. Dr. Chris Centeno here from Centeno Schultz. We're challenging anyone who does stem cell therapy and thinks they're doing the real thing to call us, because we love clinics that do it right. There are a number of clinics that do it right, and I'm going to go over to Dr. Chris Centeno and ask him, what do you look for in a clinic? What's the number one thing you look for in a clinic first, and then we'll go on for others?
Physicians.
Okay.
No reason a nurse should be doing this.
Well, first of all, physicians are trained to do it, and they're the only ones that can extract it. A nurse, I don't think a nurse practitioner allowed to extract stem cells. Maybe
it's pushing the envelope.
Okay, all right. So physicians, number one. MDs, physicians. That's number one. Make your bullet points, okay? And then we're going to go on for more. Let's now take Nathaniel. Nathaniel, welcome. What's going on?
Tommy Gunn, Tommy, how you doing, my brother?
Nathaniel, are you the one that used to call me with inventions?
Yep.
I love you. You got mad at me for a while, and I'm sorry about that, man. What do you got going?
Everything's cool, brother. Everything's cool.
You're a smart guy. I'm serious. The only thing I didn't go along with was whatever that, that one thing, that big bottle.
The snow window.
No, the snow window.
With the conveyor belt.
No, the snow window is a great concept, except it was too big. He had to condense it.
It was a conveyor belt-like system.
But the concept I'm talking about, if you could place a pane in your window that would create that look of snow falling, I think it'd be.
Yeah, but he had a box up top.
I know
and it would shake.
It was
and
open.
Like pieces of paper would
Mark,
come out.
It was
and
open.
Then a conveyor belt would bring them back up.
It was only a prototype.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Go ahead. What do you got now, bro?
Tommy Gunn, I need your golden finger, my brother, your golden finger to push the first domino. Then the billion other dominoes will fall.
What do you need?
And I will see to it that you will be one of the grand marshals, and your show will be one of the official shows of the NFL 100-year World's Fair.
I love Nathaniel. I really mean it. The guy is always thinking. Nathaniel, what do you do for a living?
I sell papers downtown.
Man,
call The Voice.
No, he really is a thinker. He thinks. I love this one. You wanted to get artificial turf or something, or dirt or something, and make a bar. Remember that?
Yes,
oh, yeah. How could we forget that?
Wait. What was it from? You wanted to take, I don't know, turf.
From the old football field and then put them in.
He wanted to do it from, like, Super Bowl fields, I think.
Yes. And that's coming. But right now.
That's right around the corner.
Next year is the 100-year anniversary of the NFL.
And what do you want to do?
I want Denver to be the most famous city in the world.
How?
And it's coming together to create and host the NFL 100-year World's Fair. I have a YouTube video.
Okay, so you want to have a 100th anniversary convention, kind of.
Where can we check out this video?
Hold on. Nathaniel, hold on. I want to find out about your video. And then we got to talk about NFL licensing. That's your biggest problem. You're going to need NFL licensing. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. I'm Tom Martino. Dr. Chris Centeno is with us and more. And we're going to make some calls to some other clinics and challenge them to come on and defend their therapies. Listen, we stir a lot of you-know-what here, and we're proud of it.
Maybe they'll trade him.
Hi, it's Ross Kaminsky.
For the rights for the snow window in order to use the NFL logo.
Mark, be nice. Mark.
It was the most horrible idea.
Be nice, Mark.
So here's how it works. You ready? So here's a window.
He's not being nice.
There's a big shaker box
He's
up
not
here.
being nice.
You put in fake snow. Okay? Then there's a vibrator connected to it. So you turn it on, it shakes, and the snow comes down like it's snowing.
Outside.
Then there's a conveyor belt that brings the snow back up into the shaker box to continually do it.
It was the ugliest. The concept.
See it on his YouTube channel. So go to his
concept,
YouTube.
What is it?
The concept was wonderful.
Nathaniel Trotter.
I know. He keeps saying that. The concept was horrible.
That's like a.
You can do a double pane window.
You can go buy an LCD monitor and use it as your window for.
The guy emailed me. I'm an idiot. Would you prefer if I'm financially benefited from false advertising? Simply Floors does not price match. Every time you say you are lying.
You might need to put
the
in
commercial they got? He said he's going to add.
So funny.
Hold on. Where do I find him?
I'm having the doc. He's YouTubing.
What is it? What is his YouTube channel?
This son of a bitch, I can't believe I am getting. Look at this guy.
that I bought
There
the
he is.
Mark,
Why do you want
There's
he's offering me a
there's-
2015. It's not worth fucking
Why do you care
$2,000.
that there's snow?
There it is, Mark, here it is. Mark,
That car is
Here it is.
I might,
Yeah,
I swear to
it's a
God, I
snow
might take
window.
it.
How did you find it?
I helped him. You go to Nathaniel Trotter's
He's
YouTube
got
channel.
2
He's got 2
subscribers.
videos.
Mark, this car,
Two
this is the most
subscribers.
extraordinary deal I've ever seen.
bad?
Yeah, it doesn't bad.
It doesn't look bad. Who would want that?
Me.
You know, we got a.
But it's got to be in between the windows, otherwise the wind would blow
How do you
away.
know it's not actually snowing?
Worldwide,
HDMI chip.
Eventual does the whole world.
Don't buy another one.
No, I'm not going to. This is not the kind I want. This is an S Mark. Mark, it's the most incredible.
Is it a G-Wagon though or a car?
No, it's an S sedan, but it's the most incredible. You won't think so. I'll tell you why. Because for what you pay, for what you can do, you literally have.
Oh
yeah. I just never
Our
understood.
friends Butch and Kathy
Mark,
live in
this
the
is an
basement.
incredible.
That's where their window is down there because they.
What's the guy's name? Nathaniel?
Nathaniel Trotter.
Camera outside.
Snow
So
window.
it looks like they're have an outside window.
I know somebody in this room who bought the thing where you put it outside and it puts like there's lights all over.
I did. That's the best invention they ever had. You don't have to hang lights up. You pound it into the damn thing, you plug it in, you got 1,000 lights on your house.
Yeah, I put them
That's what the
It's the bomb.
You should do that for the snow thing that you could just do from the house.
I could, you know what? I could do that. I wonder if there's white lights. That's my snow window.
Did you know that YouTube has snow windows? They have videos of it snowing in a window.
It's like the fireplace.
Mark,
Remember back
Mark,
20 years
Mark,
ago
what
on Channel 2 at night, they
Mark,
just
what
run
is
the
it?
stupid fireplace?
What is it?
What's that? What's that?
What's his
That's on your TV though.
What's his
Just goes for now, right?
I don't know. I'm still trying
But
to
it's on
find
your
it.
TV though, right?
Yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can put like that.
Snow window on your TV.
So here's the other thing this guy wanted to do. He wanted to take real turf
He's a nut.
and you would put it on the bar. Not like on the bar. And that's where you would put your drink and everything, on the turf.
No more saying.
The turf would come from football stadiums. Real turf.
Don't say bad stuff about him.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
We timed up the brakes, and what we're playing is right. Their brakes are short down there. Have them take a look and see if they're coming back 15 seconds early.
Did you guys change the clock?
We didn't.
Are you sure?
Well,
They're coming back early.
Yeah,
Listen,
they're under.
Jeremy's supposed to give us a new clock and he hasn't done it yet.
Okay.
How long? Would you ask him how long are we showing the brakes?
Lori added them up. She looked at it, like all the brakes are timed to the right lane. They're getting a 15-second promo at the end if their brakes are underfilled.
I don't think he would have changed anything though.
And that I
You
don't
see this
know.
commercial on
But,
TV where
we have them take a look at it.
He
And
was
we'll
so
go from there.
busy, he was going to add.
You make sure no one changed the clock here.
13th hour on the clock. Did you see that one on TV? No. And the guy goes,
Are you shitting me? Tomorrow night? No. Tomorrow
That's
night.
the prototype.
Mark, can you believe tomorrow night, election night?
Yes.
From 6:30 to 9:30.
Yes.
We're doing CU women's football on KI.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
CU women's football.
Michael Brown.
Basketball.
Michael Brown doesn't even get to finish his show. He has to cut out at 6:30 on election night till 9 o'clock for CU.
Football?
Football.
Basketball.
CU basketball.
CU women's basketball.
Oh my goodness.
Not even football.
I can't even understand that. On election night.
Crazy.
I'm
Martino, your troubleshooter, and I welcome you to the only show anywhere of its kind in the world that solves consumer problems. This hour brought to you by IconEyeCare.com. Oh, God, I love. We're talking medical today a lot. Dr. Chris Centeno here, stem cell therapy from Centeno Schultz. You know, IconEyeCare.com is a place to go for all eye care. I love these guys. I've known them since Dr. Anderson started it years ago. It's the home of the original $400 an eye LASIK. They broke the price barrier. And then, of course, they're doing the cataract surgery that Medicare pays for. But if you want to get that surgery anyway, even without cataracts, you may want to just renew your lenses. Just get rid of the old lenses if you need glasses, and you can replace them with clear lenses that focus near and far and never need glasses again. And, yeah, not even close. Never need glasses again for near or far, and you'll never get cataracts. Anyway, anything to do with eyes, IconEyeCare.com.
1-866-GOT-ICON. Now listen, I wonder what your thoughts are about stem cell therapy. If you have any questions, we got the man here. Then we have Nathaniel, an inventor, and he has been calling the show for years. Listen, I like the guy. He has prototypes that I think could work if they were refined. And now he wants to do this fan fest for the 100th anniversary of the NFL. And we're going to talk about that. Then Daniel, of course, the car wash I haven't forgotten about. Do we have photos of the car wash results, guys? Did he send any?
The
Yes
pictures
or no?
are not
Yes.
good.
Meaning what?
You can't tell what you're looking at. Look at them. I mean, they're bizarre at best.
Well, what the hell? He gave us a giant wide shot of nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea.
Wait a minute. What the hell?
So bad, it shows in the parking lot.
Oh no! First of all, he's not even showing the car. He's showing. Wait a minute. Now this almost looks like this was a mistake. Obviously, he didn't mean to send us this stuff. Let me talk to him here. Hey, Daniel, you didn't mean to send us pictures of a parking space in a parking lot, did you?
Well, that's the difficult thing here. It's hard to get a picture because it just mirrors back, so it's difficult to get a good picture.
You're okay. I'm sorry. You're literally. I see what you're saying. Your car is so shiny. Are you kidding me? We're actually seeing you in that reflection.
That's correct.
I thought you were taking a selfie.
It's my wife in the background.
I thought you were taking a selfie.
No, it's just difficult to get a good picture because it just mirrors back at you.
I see what you're saying. Now, have you ever tried doing you do it like sideways almost, like you're looking down.
I think I got a couple in there that are.
But in any case, here's the bottom line. You went to a car wash and came out with scratches. Is that it?
That's correct.
Okay. Do they acknowledge it or not?
Well, this is the thing. We filed a claim. They acknowledged it because they buffed the truck. So we brought it back to them. They said, bring it back, we're going to buff the truck.
And what happened after they buffed it?
We brought it back, and the buffing turned out to be ineffective. So it did not take the scratches out.
Now, are these surface scratches where they could be buffed out if done properly?
Yes. So we went and we got a quote done, and really what they're recommending is that they do a very, like 1,000 grit sand, almost like a color sand.
Right,
on
that's
there,
right.
And then they rebuff it again. And again, it's inexpensive. I'm realistic.
How much is it going to cost?
It's $500.
All right, and they won't pay it?
They won't pay it. No. In fact, they even said, so the claims department said that I think the car wash people lied to the claims department because she says to me, well, they offered to buff it for you. I said they did buff it for me, which didn't work. Which is why we filed.
This is a very simple problem. But how do you prove they did it? I mean, how do you do it?
That's the problem. So they said, well, typically we see something like this on a vehicle that has a lack of a clear coat, which obviously you can see in the picture. We don't have a problem with a clear coat. But anyways, we followed through their protocol. We went back to Ford, and we said, hey, guess what? This is what the car wash is saying. Let's just get this investigated. Ford came back and said, hey, guess what? There's nothing wrong with the paint job.
Okay. What color is your truck?
It's magma red.
I could never tell. Is this amazing? He took a picture. It's so shiny. It reflects right back. Okay, here's what I think we should do. We need to let one of our experts look at it. Who gave you the quote 500?
That was Caliber Collision.
They're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the guy's reputable there.
Mark, do you think small claims court would recover this quickly?
Well, it's probably his only avenue if they're not going to do anything. I don't know how you prove it.
Well, here's the problem with those brush car washes.
They didn't send anybody out to prove it. They said that the scratches are inconsistent of that of a car wash. But they didn't have anybody even come out to even look at it and evaluate it. So then the gal says, if you have a problem with it, you want to dispute the claim, you need to have your insurance company.
Wouldn't it ruin every vehicle going through there? I've always thought that about.
After a rainstorm, I've heard of this before, that the brushes pick up debris, Mark. And
I have a reason to believe that they're pre-rinsed.
It could have been one little rock. It could have been one little stone in there.
Or it wasn't working.
Hold on. Let's call the car wash. Deputy Clint, what do you have in follow-up right now? Because I've been loading you, and you don't come back and report to me. You're starting to sound like, like a politician who's hiding from the public.
Whatever happened with that Mako one? I heard, or Deputy Dan, didn't they say Didn't the caller say they agreed to $450 or what was that? You remember which one I'm talking about?
Yep, they were going to take $50 off of it, and he was fine with that.
Mako simply, what did they do wrong at Mako? They did his bumper guard right.
The fender was funky looking.
But the fender he didn't get fixed, so it couldn't be attached properly. And actually, I think they should have told him that. They said they did warn him. And, you know, look, I think they were both wrong.
Well, they finally decided not to dig in any deeper and went down to $450.
Good. So, Deputy Clint, what follow-ups do you have?
Oh, I've got a few of them here. Lindsay had called in about a week ago. She was being kicked out or was worried because on her Section 8 they were asking for assets and whatever.
Yeah, and normally they only want
No, they weren't asking for assets. They just wanted to see her bank account. I always thought it was just to see the checks coming in, something.
Yeah, it was a matter I looked into it. Section 8 only needs, you're correct, only needs the income.
Right.
That's all they need.
They do not base your qualification on assets.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could have $3 million in the bank and qualify for Section 8.
Well, technically, maybe not if that's earning interest, because that would be considered your income. Go
but
ahead.
the owners of the property can have their own list of requirements.
Well, no, not too much. They can't to exclude them too much. What do you mean by that, though?
They just want to know that she has a checking account.
Wait a minute.
For her part of the rent. The voucher only pays for X.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But the requirements they have, as I remember, has to be the same for all tenants, not just Section 8.
Yes, it is. They just wanted to make sure she had a checking account. That's all it ended up being.
All right. Thank you. Hold on. We'll come to more follow-ups.
And this video that Nathaniel sent is just riveting.
Now, Daniel, stop it, Mark. Now, stop. You're being like Trump. You're being mean. Nathaniel he wants to talk about his video. Now, Nathaniel,
pull it up. He sent the link.
What is the video? Where's the link? I don't see it.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Nathaniel. I'm going to look at your video. Go ahead. By the way, it's YouTube. I'm trying to give people something they can search easily to find it.
Yes, sir. If you go to YouTube and just type in Denver most famous city, Football World's Fair.
Okay.
WORLD apostrophe S.
Now you know it will require an NFL licensing to do this.
Yes, that's right. Now, let me explain now. The video is not professional, but it is textbook 101 class, show and tell, baby. Now, when you see this video, you're going to see 10 of the most amazing events that will be coming here in Denver for the World's Fair. Then I want you.
I'm playing your video.
Then I want you to call Bronco Stadium and tell John Elway, tell them to let John Elway see this video. Once he go for it, that would be the first domino, and all other billion dominoes is going to fall in place. Either John Elway or Peyton Manning or Tyrell Davis or Floyd.
All right. Okay, hold on. Nathaniel, I have a few quick questions for you, very quickly, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there any kind of an NFL celebration like this that goes on now? Anything like Fan Fest or anything? Do they have them like baseball does?
Well,
I don't know. I'm just asking. Does anyone know?
Well,
do you know Jesse? Do you know? We got to give Jesse a nickname. Is it Jesse, right? Jesse's our new board op filling in for Bruce. We got to give him a new name. Look at him. Look at him. Think of something.
The city
handsome.
The city that hosts the Super Bowl, they have something called Super Bowl Village.
Okay.
And next year, Green Bay is already doing something. Canton, Ohio, with the Hall of Fame, they're doing something. So I would think that every city who has a football team is going to do a little something. But I want Denver to be up front, man,
all right,
with a World's Fair.
Now, Nathaniel, hold on. People, just search in Denver most famous city, football or whatever, Football World's Fair. Look it up on YouTube and let me know what you think. All he's proposing is some kind of an event. Stop. Why are you making fun of him? Now, Nathaniel, I will say, what was that? Now, he did invent something for foreplay.
Oh, yes.
What was that called? What was that called, Nathaniel?
The land of milk and honey. Aphrodisiac with the man, and then you were trying to say something like you don't use it. That's why
it was a fake boob.
It was a fake. Was it a fake boob or was it a bottle? It was
a bottle, a baby bottle, when you enjoy your wife's breast with the baby bottle.
Yeah, with the baby bottle.
While you're celebrating the 100th anniversary of football.
It was a special bottle made, and you use
Sounds romantic.
While staring out your snow window.
So 303-713-TALK. Nathaniel, seriously now, I want him to come in as a common man. He came in once before. Let's have him come in.
Back in 2015, he did.
I like him. I really like him. Carl's got a comment on the car wash. This is a serious problem, and it's not isolated to this one time. We get complaints about car wash damage a lot. Go ahead, Carl.
Hey, Tom. So I was just going to let you know I used to detail cars, polish and buff and so forth. And I can tell you that I can spot scratches on new cars from a car wash that uses brushes every single time.
Really?
Yep.
Every single time?
Every single time. You run a car through brushes,
oh my God. Well, because the clear coat, it can't be that I don't know. It can't be that delicate, is it?
Well, it's not super delicate, and you can get rid of them, but if you put them under bright lights in the correct, kind of shop where you have the lights,
gotcha,
you can see them.
All right, hold on now. Dr. Chris Centeno, we asked for bullet points on what to look for in a stem cell therapy clinic. Number 1, MDs. What's number 2?
Real, live stem cells.
Okay, living, no, we can't say that because it's too confusing. You have to say this. On-site extraction or not, period.
Yeah.
That's it. Because can't we conclude, now they have to do it properly, but, I know this. On-site, what do you call it, extraction?
Harvesting, extraction.
On-site harvesting, because without on-site harvesting, you can't have living stem cells. Can you bring in a donor? I mean that sincerely. Is that legally permissible?
A donor for research purposes?
No. If I come in and want stem cell therapy, but I don't want you to take it from me, seriously now, can I have a donor who's compatible with me donate their stem cells to you?
That would be a good question. I guess the answer is technically you could under...
Isn't it like a
Section 361 of the PHSA, so I think so.
It's like a blood transfusion, right?
It would probably be considered similar.
Okay. Well, anyway, on-site harvesting and MDs, 2 things. We have more coming up, okay? Now, Pro Auto Care is your car nanny. If you have a car and it needs maintenance, even if it's under warranty, Pro Auto Care. Here's what I like about Pro Auto Care. They keep complete service records. And, of course, all non-warranty work they can do. They can do work on your car and have service records available for anything. This is the most important thing. They remind you when something is due based on your VIN number, based on your mileage, and based on anything that you have on that particular car because they are specific to you. And in between every repair, you have 36,000 miles of roadside assistance, which is virtually between all services. So you're part of the family, and you never pay for roadside assistance. That's 303 Pro Auto. 2 convenient locations near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. The website, 303ProAuto.com.
This report is sponsored by Burlington.
One big slow spot on the drive down.
Come to me with 1 minute left, and I want to insert a spot so we don't, and then go to another recording. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you want me? Yeah. Hold on.
Just cue me in between. I want to sandwich some.
With the exception of westbound I-70, let's stop and go on the elevated portion. Up in the high country, got a thing. Now I do. The problem is I have a article.
The land of milk and honey.
That's okay. From me, and then maybe a sounder in that, whatever. Let's just do something more creative than always having them back to back. So tell me when you want me to do something. 30s, 40s. Okay.
Way before me.
Guys, I'm going to do a spot in between.
California was known as the land.
Hold up, guys. Guys, hold on.
Off other retailers' prices every day. Burlington style.
You know, if you want an RV, SentryRV.com. They have 2 locations. They have a service department and new and used RVs up north on I-25 and the 119 turnoff to Longmont. And then they have a place, indoor showroom, so no matter what the weather's doing, it's pleasant in there, on 6th Avenue, just north of 6th Avenue, between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's. That's SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. If you are looking for a deal, and I mean, maybe we can develop a little splash sound or something. Just something. You want me to look for one, or you want to?
Judy was evaluating.
I can look for one too. Or I'll send you one. I need to get your email too.
Is it Jesse Top? Jesse Dot?
What's her last?
Webster, Judy Webster.
Say it again, I'm sorry. But is there a dot in between? No.
Who'd she sue? Which time? Do you remember? He's a young guy. Silva.
Yeah. And I was impressed with him. Really.
Good.
He was so thorough. And
iHeartMedia or iHeartRadio?
She's a little nervous about the whole. Although, she keeps lending to go for a surgery because it's paid for. But I'm saying no.
Okay, guys.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Frank Duran, the real estate man. Whether you're buying or selling real estate, you'll never do better than Frank. You know, I say that all the time, but I truly mean it. And I've never gotten a complaint about Frank, ever. I get all kinds of rave reviews. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622. Hey, speaking of no complaints, I've never gotten, I hope this is not, you know, they say knock on wood, never gotten a complaint about Dr. Centeno and stem cell therapy ever about your clinic. And so, listen, quickly, I want to ask you, testimony that you contacted us by email or a voicemail and we got back to you. So go ahead, Ashley.
Hi.
Hi.
So my issue is that my grandparents had contacted a roofing company in late July, early August, and we still have almost nothing done.
Now, wait a minute. This is what's really important. Did they pay?
Yeah, my grandparents have paid about $7,200, and we still have about $2,000 left to go.
So, but for the $7,200 in July or August, they got nothing.
We have, so they did come back to do the top of the roof and our shed roof.
Hold on, so wait a minute then. If we had to put a percentage on it of what's done, is it 50%?
About that, yeah.
Now, okay, so what is their excuse for not coming back?
I don't really know their excuse. They've told us they had people quit. And that's about all we've got. We've had no communication. My grandpa's gone down there a couple times. He's been told something different at the office.
Okay.
He's been told.
Very nice of you to help them out. What is the what's the name of the roofer?
Ready Roof.
And how did they find Ready Roof?
They were somebody that came by doing hail estimates after the big hail storm.
Yeah, that's the worst way to select a roofer. Now, here's what I want to say. First of all, it's not 100% sure you're going to get ripped off at the door, but here's what I say. Of all the rip-offs, all of them, listen to this, 98% of them start at the door, which means you have it's such a higher instance of rip-offs if they come to you. So Ready Roof knocked on the door, they gave him the insurance check, and now they got only about half of the job done. And who have you been talking to at Ready Roof?
A bunch of different people. It changes every time.
What's the latest story?
That our metal patio roof, they had everything, they had it all ordered in September, and they were going to install it September 7th, and then that didn't happen, and they told my grandpa that, oh, we need measurements. So they came back and did measurements, told my grandpa, we'll have this date, nothing. Our patio roof still isn't done, and they told my grandpa maybe last week. They haven't even ordered it yet.
All right, so we're going to call them for you and try to light a fire. Hold on, all right? Deputy Clint, give me one more follow-up. You've had a few, so let's do one more follow-up since we're on a roll here. If you have one handy. Otherwise, we can go and get one. 303-713-TALK. Do you have one?
Would you even contemplate trying Nathaniel's bottle thing he was doing?
No, I wouldn't do that. It's a love aid. No, seriously, the man, you know what I like about Nathaniel? He dreams. And he's really a nice guy. He's
definitely a nice guy.
And he dreams. And his ideas could be put into practical use. I think the snow window. No, truly, Mark, the snow window, if you could think of it as a very thin like encasement with plexi or something like that, plastic, and it has some built-in things that make it vibrate or something, or swirl.
with a fluid inside, and it made it look like snowflakes coming down, and you could get a size and put it in your window. I think it's a cute idea. I really do. Now, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm silly. Go ahead, Clint.
Got kind of a sad follow-up.
Okay.
A young man, Christian Tilley, worked as a busboy and didn't get his last paycheck from this guy, Jeffrey Thomas.
And Jeffrey's where?
He owned a place called the Fan Draft Sports Brewery.
What happened?
And he went broke, but he's ignored every request, everything for this poor kid. I mean, it was $156, but the kid
How old's the kid?
He was 16.
All right, so what about it? We do anything for him?
We've tried everything. This guy just doesn't respond.
Well, listen, man, you know, he can sue for triple damage.
The guy's out of business.
He's out of business. His phone numbers are disconnected.
So
he's
we
just
can't.
just
maybe
a lowlife.
let's put the word out. Maybe somebody can find him. What is it?
Jeffrey Thomas. He used to own Fan Draft Sports Brewery.
Okay, and I imagine he's not the only one that's looking
Oh,
for
no,
him.
everybody probably did a paycheck.
If he hung in there just another year or two, he might have been part of that 100-year football Super Bowl thing.
Now, here's what I want. I'm Clint, could you do me a favor? Could you get with Ashley on line 1 and we'll call this roofer?
Can I real quick give a kudos to Dr. Centeno?
What is it?
My wife and I went in. She's being evaluated for stem cells for her injury.
Yes.
She's a nurse. We were never so impressed with an evaluation, a thorough medical evaluation. It wasn't just stem cell. They went over every part of her history like nobody has ever done.
All right, see, that's what was my next one. MDs, this is what you look for in a stem cell clinic. MDs, on-site harvesting of stem cells, image guidance for the injections, and the fourth one is alternative treatments. If all they have is stem cell therapy, then that's all they're going to sell you. Right?
You got it. You got
it.
You're right.
So isn't that a good point? So alternative therapies like, you know, stem cells expensive. So PRP is much cheaper, right?
Yeah, a lot of times PRP will work just as well, if not better.
And you'll be the first one to say, you don't need stem cells, we're going to do PRP.
I talk about 4 out of 5 patients out of doing stem cells.
Now think about that. Now, other than PRP, what others? Then you guys have regular surgery because you're docs, right?
Yeah, regular surgery. You can do prolotherapy to tighten up ligaments in some patients. So lots of different things.
All right. So those are some bullet points, and let's now talk to Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan, your turn. What's happening?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, and I want to tell people. I want to tell people there are lines open 303-713-TALK. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Excuse me. Could I read a short statement that I think will answer a lot of your questions?
About what?
Well, I have a situation where.
You want to sum up your problem? You mean?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. I live in East Lake Shores, which is an HOA community. East Lake Shores outsources its management to a management company. When the incident happened, this was homeowners' concerns, which in turn had hired Long's Peak Landscape to do landscaping. Homeowners' Concerns has since been fired and replaced by ACCU Inc., which continues to employ Longspeak. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So now the incident. On July 23rd of this year, I was working in my second-floor home office when I heard a loud banging sound as if a gun had been discharged. I'm not exaggerating. A stone had been thrown through my office screen, also damaging the window. My wife was working in her second-floor office next to mine and heard the same sound. I looked out the window, saw a handyman on ground level holding a blowing device, immediately went downstairs to speak with this man, and he confirmed that a rotary edging machine had been used when the stone was thrown a few minutes before.
So hold on. So you're saying that the machine threw up a stone?
That's my inference.
Well, what I'm saying is, let me just get to this point, and then you can continue. You're not saying someone took a stone and literally threw it through your window?
Oh, God, no.
Okay, go ahead.
No notion that any such thing happened. That would...
Go ahead.
No, there was no one else visible in the neighborhood but this gentleman with the blower. So I took photographs, of course. I've got a photo of the thrown stone, the fresh...
Okay, so fine. So we got a stone. But you understand that if that happened, they're not responsible for it unless they did something negligent. Just because something happens doesn't make someone responsible.
Like if it was a car in front of you that kicked up a rock while you're on the highway, that person probably would not be responsible either.
Right, would not be negligent necessarily. Now, hold on, meaning if this guy is going along and there just happens to be a stone that flipped up and freakishly broke your window, That doesn't necessarily spell liability. You know what I mean?
I would have thought that, I appreciate your point, Tom, but I would have thought that due care would include moving stones away from the edge or that might be pointing toward the house.
Hold on.
In the opposite direction.
Now listen, here's something truly weird, Jonathan. Listen to this one. If it ever happens again, you're absolutely right. Do you know why? Because now they have knowledge that it could happen. Now, Jonathan, if it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look down there, and if you, honest to God, tell me, if you tell me this, Tom, if I was doing this job, I would obviously see that these stones could be moved or set in flight with this edger, and I don't want to endanger people or property. Is that truly, now, before this happened to you, is that something that you would infer or conclude looking at those rocks?
I would make certain.
Was he reckless,
Tom, that the stones were not loose?
How does the edger work? Is it a blade or is it a whipping cord?
I believe it to be a whipping cord because of what happened. However, I did not see the actual edger.
I hate landscaping, but I have done my share of edging. Okay? And I would never, ever think of moving a stone when I edge. I would go along the edge with the edger, and I'd never think in a million years that it might throw a pebble at a house or a window. Look, I'm not trying to fight you on this. If I was there, maybe if I looked there, I would say, huh, he's right. Jonathan, that's why in court they call something the common man theory sometimes, or common man observation. What would the common person say in this situation? For example, when somebody was suing me one time, they said it would cause the average person to listen to me and cry out in astonishment, I can't believe he just said that. So, in other words, is this something that a common person would say, you know what, this is dangerous. I better not edge unless I move all the rocks out of the way or it might break a window. Because and the reason I'm saying this now, because you don't have to go through anything else, right? Because it all comes down to this. Let's say, for argument's sake, they did it. That doesn't mean they're negligent. Phil, you have a comment. Phil just happened to call in, Jonathan. What is your comment, Phil?
Yeah, I run a small lawn service, and, you know, a lot of these guys take the guard off the whip on the trimmer. And actually that holds, like, where they're throwing rocks or something like that, the plastic guard will stop that rock from throwing.
So do you think, now they took the guard off, would you conclude then, as a common person, Phil, if you're sitting on the jury, you know what? That was foolhardy to do that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because, you know, the great thing about the jury system is, they don't always agree with me. And I'll tell you this, I have sometimes heard a jury deliberate on things, and I thought to myself, how the hell they conclude that? Hold on a sec, and we'll talk about that. Hold on, 303-713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is the place you call for any garage door issue. It's that easy. You know, seriously, One Clear Choice Doors started out as a small company in one location. Now they're in Colorado Springs. They're along the entire Front Range. They have even opened up centers in other states. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, our Colorado crew, top-notch, 303-565-6409. In fact, I was there when the guy, the general manager, who's in charge, one of the guys in charge of Colorado, I was there at his house when his mom delivered him with a midwife. Honest to God. OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 303-565-6409.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station with Ross Kaminsky Mornings, Michael Brown.
Yeah, let's get them. Okay, how long is this? Break, how long?
Are mixed in afternoon trading among the gainers today. Energy companies will stocks
Yeah, she's an RN, and I mean, she's never been so impressed by an evaluation.
Yeah, well, we do 1 hour evals.
Yes.
For that reason.
What's the number one product? You said 4 out of 5 don't qualify, or you don't think should do stem cells.
Usually PRP. Usually PRP will take care of it. And if the person comes in wanting stem cells, obviously the easiest thing for me to do is say, sure, I'll sign you up for a $6,000 stem cell procedure. But many times I'm like, $1,000 PRP procedure would work just as well.
What's the number one thing stem cells seem to help more than anything else? Like a knee, a joint, what?
If it's severe arthritis in a joint, you need them. And if you've got a really big tear or a larger tear, like a tendon or a ligament, you need them. But for everything else, PRP works great.
What does building a better bank look
So because she's got the largest hair, the other one's torn completely, so
they feel nothing like
how about an ACL?
ACL, it's a small partial tear, PRP will work.
And you'll always find people ready.
Have they done anybody with NFL? Have they done it on NFL people? Why don't they? Okay, who was it?
Ryan Tannehill from the Dolphins.
Okay, quarterback. How about what was the quarterback from Philadelphia? Wentz. Because didn't he tear his?
Yeah, we need to.
Okay, listen. You know, they fixed my dog's
Email me. I don't mind getting them on.
So 30-pound test. No, they just replaced the whole ACL and pushing line.
And somebody said they didn't get results. I wanted to, if you want to ask questions.
50-pound test, but if they're 30-pound test, but if the dog's over 50 pounds, you can't do it that way.
Look, the only way this can be done is honestly and openly. I don't see any email. Is it?
The weather forecast going to be sunny this afternoon. Bring you behind your right now, partly cloudy and 50. With your traffic and weather, I'm Keith Wagner, 6:30 K-How.
Now through this Thanksgiving holiday, 23andMe Ancestry Service Kits are only $49 when you buy 2 or more. Offer ends November 22nd. Go to 23andme.com/gift and get yours today.
Denver's Talk Station, 630.
I really can't believe they're playing women's basketball during the election. They must have a contractual agreement where they have to.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, Jim has a question about stem cell therapy and diabetes, and go ahead, Jim. What is your comment, sir?
Well, I just wondering if the stem cell therapy would work on type 2 diabetes.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I know that I've heard of research being done with type 1 to restore the pancreas. Dr. Centeno, what is the latest on stem cell therapy and diabetes in general?
Yeah, there's some good promising research. It's still not a proven thing, and at this point, there's not much good clinical research. Mostly animal-based stuff, but some really clinical things.
They're trying to restore the pancreas, I thought, with islet cells.
They've been doing that, and then for type 1, they've been using some different types of stem cell therapies. Type 2, they've been using some different types.
Jim, first of all, type 2 shouldn't be called diabetes. Type 1 is when the pancreas shuts down. Type 2, the pancreas is functioning fine. I mean, it has nothing to do with the pancreas functioning. The pancreas secretes insulin just like everything else. It's just that your body ignores it. You become desensitized to it. And so I have a whole diatribe I'm not going to get into because, Jim, what they do with type 2 is give you more insulin, which makes you even more resistant. And then they've come up with other clever things like drugs that help you store it in other places, and it just gets ridiculous. I mean, you know, I don't know, Jim.
I'm on metformin, and it's killing my kidneys. And
that's right. Jim, have you, first of all, the #1 treatment, erase all carbs from your diet. Have you done that?
Yeah.
Okay, you have. Because that will probably take care of 98% of the problem, and it's been proven. Now, there are people that have a tendency to over-secrete insulin with minor amounts of sugar. I'm one of them. So people would say that I'm prone to type 2. I'm not prone to type 2. I'm prone to over-secreting insulin, which means my body will get used to it and need more and more and more and more if I keep doing the highs and lows. If I try to keep it level, that's not going to happen. So there is a predisposition to type 2, even those who don't have the lifestyle, because it's not fair to call it completely a lifestyle disease, because some people, side by side, could eat the same stuff, and one guy who secretes too much insulin for some reason will end up maybe being resistant where the other guy won't. Do you have type 1 or type 2, Jim?
Type 2.
Okay, so
and that's what I'm doing, because my
A1C
is almost 13, and I'm on medication, and I'm on the diet. So
there's something else we're not now. There's something else we're missing, sir.
Yeah, with an A1C at 13, it may be too late for diet to have an effect.
There's something. Well, certainly, A1C is mostly what he was eating, right? And isn't it? I mean, that's mostly or his average blood sugar.
It probably means he's late stage.
Yeah, yeah.
And in late stage, it's really hard to turn that bus around.
In other words, they call it sometimes 1.5 or 2, meaning not only do you have a pancreas that's shut down, but you become resistant to the insulin they're giving you. And with type 2 cases, sometimes your pancreas does shut down because you can actually go to a type 1. So, Jim, there's something else.
I'm not on insulin. I'm on metformin.
No, I understand that. And metformin is not a good solution, but listen.
Right, it's a blockage, so.
My God, it's just, I just wish that I knew more about you, because I can't believe you, if you truly are zeroing out carbs, I mean, to the extent possible. There are trace carbs in some things, trace. But if you truly are zeroing them out, I find that shocking.
Yeah, well, me too.
So when you say you're zeroing them out, you don't eat anything with carbs in it.
Nothing. I eat mostly vegetables.
What? Okay, but so what kind of? Well, fish is wonderful. What kind of vegetables?
Oh, mostly green leafy vegetables.
My God, yeah. Wow, Jim. You know what? I
don't eat potatoes. I don't eat carrots. I don't eat tomatoes. You know, I've completely got those.
Jim, what about drinking? What do you drink?
Water.
Okay, man. Listen. Do you have the latest blood tests? Your blood panel. Do you have the latest?
Well, I just 2 weeks ago, when the doctor called back and said I had my A1C was 13, which has never been that high, ever.
No, so, but do you have a blood panel in addition to the A1C?
I don't with me. I'm sure the doctor does.
If you can have that emailed to you, I can have it emailed to one of the top researchers in the world. And let's just get his opinion.
Okay.
All right?
I can do that.
If you're willing to do it, obviously we're not going to give out any information. Okay. 303-713-8255. Let's talk to Ty. He is with Lighten Up Electric, who's on our referral list. Ty Chadwick. Hi, Ty. What's happening?
Hey, Tom. Well, not a whole lot. How are you doing this afternoon?
Good, man. What can we do for you?
Hey, I wanted to call and ask the doctor a couple of things. I actually had some stem cells done in his clinic about 4 months ago. Haven't seen a real increase.
Where on your body did you have stem cell therapy?
Sure. So I've had a full knee replacement. My left knee's been replaced with a striker unit, and I had a lot. It's been really loose.
So the left knee is the left knee what you had it done with for?
Yes, actually I had both knees done. I had PRP in my right knee, and then stem cells in my left knee.
How did the PRP do in the right one?
It's better. Yeah, less swelling, less pain.
Really?
In the PRP, so that worked out really good.
The PRP worked, and then you had stem cell therapy in the left knee.
And Ty, there was a loose prosthesis there?
It was. Well, the prosthesis is fine. It's the ligaments and tendons we found that were loose.
Oh yeah, so it's certainly possible. Well, probably the first thing you need to do is get back in and see what tightened up. But it's possible that may need to be hit several times, because depending on how loose it is, it'll get a little tighter each time, but it still may be too loose. So definitely get that.
Okay.
But did it get worse, Ty?
I'm up north, but I came down to the clinic. I saw Dr. Markle about
a month
ago.
Ty, did the left knee get worse?
It's about the same. Actually, it did get a little bit better. The swelling's gone down.
Uh-huh.
But that's about it.
And when you saw Merkel a month ago, what did he say?
He said to give it a couple more months.
Oh, okay.
How long does it take, though? I'd like to know. How long does it take? When should you start seeing results?
Yeah, if we're tightening down ligaments, that can really as an example, we do ACLs and we follow that on MRI. An older patient, sometimes 9 months to fully tighten or fully develop.
So how old are you?
I'm just turned 50.
Okay, he just turned 50 on a knee, loose ligaments. What would that, just roughly, would that be at least 6 months?
Yeah, by 3 months they're going to be somewhat tighter, by 6 months tighter than that, by 9 months tighter than
When do you know it's not just waiting, but you need another hit? What's the difference there?
Big thing for him would be looking at this under stress ultrasound to see how much it's moving and how much it's tightened in that time period.
Then you would know if it's continuing to heal or if he needs more.
Correct.
How long do you like to wait in between treatments? It seems to me you could throw a hell of a lot of money at it when it's still actually healing. So what would you recommend? I mean, before he goes ahead and tries another treatment, let's say.
Yeah, that's why I'd like to see how much it's moving. So.
Yeah, but it's been 3 months, right, Ty?
It's been a little over 4.
A little over 4.
Almost 4.5.
So yeah, Ty, I think if he told you to wait, that's probably a good idea. In the interim, if you want to, if you're there, you want to come in, have me take a quick look at it, I'm happy to do that.
But I'll hold off till the first of the year. I'll schedule
Ty,
for that.
Stay in touch. I want to follow it along. Would you stay in touch with us?
Absolutely, be happy to.
Okay, cool. We want to follow it along. There are some cases that just flat out won't get better, Dr. Centeno. In other words, you do your best shot and it doesn't work. Does that ever happen?
Oh yeah, this is not magic, and that's one of the things. That's another differentiator. If they tell you it's magic, run.
Okay, so what percentage of the time do you think people get no results?
Depends on the application, but we have applications like severe hip arthritis where I would say don't even do it.
Like on tightening of ligaments in the knee, what would be the percentage do you feel?
Yeah, I mean for most, so that's probably an 80 or 90% success rate thing.
Okay.
However, having had a prosthesis, meaning something put in there, kind of throws that.
There's a wild card.
Yeah, throws a wild card.
Then very quickly, what about ACLs? What's the percentage?
ACLs in the right patients, about 90% effective, but that still means 30% of them we can't touch with a 10-foot pole.
We have more coming up. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Mark Szymanski is a good friend of mine. In a time when people are taking money and running, and there are so many ripoffs in this industry, please remember GenesisTotalExteriors.com for both interior and exterior work, from the roof right down to the decks and fencing inside to the bathrooms, kitchens, and basements. 303-679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
This report is sponsored by 23.
In the Highway Drive in the metro area on the south end of town, eastbound C470, stop and go there between Quebec and Yosemite. Watch out for that. Downtown, southbound, still a little slow there. South of I-70, traveling down towards Colfax, so watch out for delays there. Eastbound I-270, stop and go between I-25 and North, so watch out for delays on that stretch. Off highway, got a crash bridge there, Park Avenue there at Larimer. Also watch out for a roll for wreck at Monaco and Princeton.
Overworking it, and we're not ignoring it. We're good next.
Yeah, an A1C at 13, that's
What's average?
No, normal would be like 5.1.
Like 6 is bad, 7 is bad.
Yeah.
13 is death, man.
13 is really bad.
No, the guy.
His blood is sugar.
No, I mean, there's a lot of glycation going on and shit that is so, his organs are going to be affected.
Yeah, 13 is like super real diabetic.
See, the most thing that kills, the number one thing that kills a diabetic is low blood sugar, because they miscalculate or something happens and they die. They die instantly. High blood sugar takes a long time. In other words, if you did not medicate sugar diabetes at all, it would take you a while to die. Now, in few cases, you might go into sugar, that shock, that's different. But, hi, Tom
Martino here. WinkandWink.com, bankruptcy attorneys I hope you never, ever need. WinkandWink.com. They are such nice people. And look, it happens, okay? They do Chapter 13s, for example, that can stop a foreclosure dead in its tracks. Call for details, 303-410-1720, 410-1720, winkandwink.com. Okay, I got to go to the phones. People have been waiting. Jonathan has 2 more questions. He called about the... we didn't finish with John anyway. I'm so sorry, John. So you were reading, okay? Let me just get there, because I don't want to gloss over this. You have the HOA. They were working. A stone went through your window, and I said, because it happened doesn't automatically make it liability. It could be depending on the circumstances. What else?
Well, Tom, it sounds like from what you're saying that the liability depends on whether or not they removed the guard from the rotary edging machine.
It's whether or not they were negligent. Now, if removing the guard is stupid, and you talk to other experts in that business, now, I don't know that it could be. Like that one guy called, you could say, you know what, to an expert may say, oh, my goodness, that's foolhardy to take the guard off. That's inviting trouble. Then of course that's better, right? And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for negligence.
Okay, that makes sense, Tom. But as a practical matter, we're talking maybe $550 in damages. Would you think that this is really worth proceeding at this point in small claims court?
Yes, I do, because it's small claims court, it's only $50. Here's what I think. I think businesses where there's a shadow of a doubt should take care of the consumer if it's not too much money. They have to decide for themselves. You know, like, let's just say it was a normal trimmer, a normal day, normal guard, normal everything. Everything was normal, and it just was a freak accident. They don't owe you a dime. But if it was like a few $100, I think they should go ahead and do it. If it's $500, I don't know. I truly, honest to God, don't know. I'd have to... I don't know. Mark, what would you do if it was truly, let's just say, a freak happenstance, and it was $550? Would you pay it?
If I was in business, would I pay it? I don't know. It would depend on the circumstance.
You know, I don't know. The answer is I don't know. So you have to do some research here. Hey, Tim, what's happening with you, sir?
I have a question for Dr. Centeno about stem cell. My wife has a bladder condition called interstitial cystitis.
What is that?
Which, well, long story short, it's inflammation of the inner bladder wall, and it manifests itself in frequent urination, like sometimes every 10 minutes, night and day, and lots of pain in the lower abdominal area. And my question is, does Dr. Centeno's clinic do anything yet for that condition?
Or any kind of internal organ condition, I guess, is a good question.
Or is he aware of any studies that look promising for the use of stem cells to treat, an inflamed inner wall of a bladder?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, because we've seen patients that have been diagnosed with this. They have frequent urination, and it's really just irritation of their sacral nerves. So actually using a platelet growth factor epidural, caudal, will really give them quite a bit of relief.
I wonder if chiropractic ever worked, if it's sacral nerves.
Yeah, that's another thing to consider, because we see a lot of these patients that are just misdiagnosed as having... Because interstitial cystitis really just means it's a black box, your bladder hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, frequency, we really don't know what's causing it.
Have you ever...
No, it's a lot more involved than that, and she's been thoroughly diagnosed by one of the top urologists.
No, he's not saying that. He's just saying that it's not something very simple to put your hands around, like where the causes and effects and all of that, and why people get the diagnosis. So Tim, he's saying they've had success with organs and organ tissue, but I want to ask a few questions. This is a disease of inflammation, Tim, and has she altered her diet?
Yes.
Okay. How?
Removing spicy foods, and there's kind of a long...
Well, the number one cause of inflammation, again, I think I'm preaching here, is carbs. Number one cause is glycation within the cells, within the arteries and veins. So here's the other thing. Has she tried turmeric?
Has she tried what?
Turmeric.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's it is a anti-inflammatory natural substance. It's an herb, turmeric, and some people call it a spice. It's very, very good for you. There's no harmful side effects, and it helps.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she has tried turmeric. She's also on, there's a very expensive drug that she's on called Elmeron for interstitial cystitis.
So listen, stem cells, yes or no? What do you think? It doesn't sound to me like something that's been really...
Again, our focus would be seeing her to try to see if it could be irritated sacral nerves. If it is, treating that with platelets works well.
Do you understand that? He's saying if it's related to the sacral nerves, and you know, that would work treating those joints, those tiny joints. If you would like to experiment, you should try some have you ever tried chiropractic? I don't mean just any chiropractor, but one that targets things, I mean, for the sacral nerves.
She has not tried that, no.
Okay. And the other thing would be, and I know you say she altered her diet, but I swear to God, carbs are the #1 cause of inflammation. Dustin, you have a question. Go ahead.
Hi. So I had kind of a two-part. The first part was in response to the caller that was just calling in with the interstitial cystitis.
Yes.
It's something that my wife has actually suffered with. And I know the struggle.
What has she done?
There.
What has she done?
So the first thing that was a big relief for her and her mom as well, who had suffered through it, was ozone treatments. And
ozone.
That's internally in a bladder, and so that's going to be under the supervision of a doctor, obviously.
All right.
But,
so just in the interest of time, I don't want you to run out. What else?
Also, I just wanted to see if I could pick your brain on some of the differences associated with the mesenchymal stem cells that they use in places like Panama versus the harvested stem cells that we can use in the United States.
What are the differences, first of all? Because we don't want to get too technical, but the first kind of stem cell was a what?
Yeah, mesenchymal stem cells.
What is it?
So what we use here is mesenchymal stem cells, and what he's talking about there is the taking the same kinds of stem cells and growing them out in culture.
And the FDA will not let you grow them out in culture.
They will not. So that's why we do what we do in Grand Cayman.
Because they call it a drug.
Correct.
So you go out of the country, you have a clinic out of the country that basically does the concentrating.
Yeah, we have a licensed facility in Grand Cayman.
And because you were one of the first ones ever to do stem cells, you know, because somebody addressed this, and it comes up from time to time, the FDA told you don't do that because you were one of the first. No one else had done it, and you started concentrating them. It wasn't because you were doing anything wrong. You were doing it too right.
Correct. So that got moved down out of the country.
And they said, do not do the concentrating, but you can still do it. So I mean, that is why? Why does the FDA stop you from concentrating them?
Or growing them. You know, they just drew the line in the sand, and that's what they did.
They just said it's a drug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over this, it's a drug.
All right.
Under this, it's not.
Don, what's your comment, sir, on Jim's A1C level of 13, I think it was, or 12?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'd like to make this quick. I'm a type 2 diabetic. My height in A1C was somewhere in the 12s.
Wow.
Last time I had my A1C checked
sir.
Last summer, and it was 6.5.
And what did it for you?
High fat, low carb, moderate protein, and hormone replacement therapy.
You are it, man. You're it. Yep, that's right. So you hear what he said? Low carb, high fat, moderate protein, because too much protein is bad, and hormone replacement. There, he's a walking billboard for my show. We're done. Dr. Chris Centeno, thank you very much. Don't forget, Centeno Schultz Clinic, 303-963-9201. And don't forget, I'm Tom Martino, and we run referralist.com. We're proud of it. And I say this, and I mean it, save all your problems for me.
It's never been easier to...
You know what? There's something... Okay, don't get me talking. He drinks fucking Coke constantly. I drink fucking Coke. Now, how stupid can you be? At least do Coke, at least do Coke Zero. Do Coke Zero.
I woke up so early because it's time. It is interesting what they got time saying. Hormones that I have to be in. I do that. Trying just to do it dramatically reducing.
You know what? I love what they do. I just love it.
But the interesting thing is, you're right. Like, hey, to talk to these guys, and ask them, because I think if you really drill down, a lot of them really aren't doing it.